Ta-ta-da-ta-da! Ta-ta-da-ta-da! Ta-ta-da-ta-da!
Hello, paisanos! It's a me, Oddish. What's up, everybody? Oh my god, look at all y'all. What's up, Bacon? What's up, Manic, Silver Mike, Harvey Winkle, Two Hit, R Dominic, Emerald, Spice? Hi, everybody! I'm back. I made it. I survived. How can I give you the death glare under this brim? Anyway, thank you all so much for subscribing. Bacon, Manic, Two Hit, y'all, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good to see y'all again. Well, you know, see y'all in chat. Yes. Oh god, it's the other way. I don't know how to deal with mirrors. Mirrors have confused me for so long. Oh my god, Krager! Krager, dude, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Oh, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see y'all again. It's so good to see y'all again. I'm not gonna lie. Japan was fantastic. We're gonna talk all about it. I'm gonna share the whole trip with you. I have prepared a presentation, if you will, which I realized while I was setting up for it is basically the 2022 version of some weirdo inviting you over to his house and then him ambushing you with his vacation slides. Just updated for a new generation. So, but y'all knew you were hanging out with a weirdo going into this. So I mean, look at what I got. I just tried to get a place in Japan. Ever turned him down when he put streamer at his job? That happens in the United States too. Brought the edibles and coffee. At least, yes, I did actually prepare a thing for the stream to show you. It's not just off my phone. That'd be so lame. So I do have props, as you can see. I see you chose the hat of the better Mario. I did indeed. Yes, I was. This was my big ask from Super Nintendo World. Is I wanted a cool ass Luigi hat, and of course they have the normal like ball caps and stuff. I was like, no, we're going full on. And I gotta be honest with you. This is one of the most comfortable hats I have ever worn in my life. It's like a pillow inside. It's just this big, nice, marshmallowy thing, and it's so. And I bought it as soon as I got to Super Nintendo World, and I wore it for the rest of the day. It was like, God, like 38 degrees Celsius and half raining all day, and the top of my head was cooking, and I was still wearing it because it was just so comfortable. Your game room, how long has it been covered in posters? Oh God. So yeah, I've got so much stuff to talk about. It's been covered in posters the whole time. The thing is, I've been in low light mode because I had those Christmas lights strung up, and I really like the way that looked. This is not. You can see we're full light oddish tonight. This is not a stylistic choice. This is not a new direction. My cheap-ass Christmas lights died while I was on vacation. I basically got what I paid for. The 2 strings of Christmas lights I had in here were like $2 each from Joann. They were insanely cheap, and now I know why. They burn out after like 6 months. So yeah, this is not a permanent thing. I am going to be updating the lighting in here. I'm gonna do what I finally wanted to do. What I've been wanting to do since I put up the original Christmas lights is to get some actual like LED like color changing light, so I can actually control the ambient color in here, and maybe, just maybe, do some kind of channel point thing associated with that. But we'll see. This is all plans for the near future, I hope. What's up, Arcane? I'm back and there's no audio. Hey. Push the buttons until you can hear my soft lilting voice again. But yeah, that's why we're full light tonight. I for normal streams, I guess we'll do this until I get new lighting. For horror streams, I may go full dark like we did with Fatal Frame, but we'll see. Depends on how I feel. So, speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about tonight. I mean, we basically already started, but before we start, I have some things to mention. Oh, good, you have audio. Hi, Arcane. It's good to see you. It's the sound of audition. So the plan for tonight is we're gonna hang out and we're gonna talk. I'm gonna tell you all about my trip. I have some images and visual aids to share, and it should be cool. I was going to do a Playdate unboxing after that because yes, Panic sent me my Playdate while I was in Japan. Unfortunately, it got held with the rest of my mail, and they haven't delivered my held mail yet. So I don't actually have it yet. So that'll happen. I'm thinking maybe that'll happen Friday, actually. I didn't have a plan for Friday yet. I had ideas, but no solid plan. But assuming I do get the Playdate, maybe we'll unbox that on Friday and see what that little thing can do. So yeah, we'll talk about my trip. I'll talk about the schedule, and then I don't know. I got some garbagey and not so garbagey indie horror games we can look at. So more subs and bits in that hype train. I'll have my Steam Deck before I ever played it. Probably, yeah. The way things tend to work around here, yeah. Did you ever PS1 horror game called Baroque Syndrome? It's a murder mystery prequel of Baroque. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. I should have taken pictures of them, but I saw so many old games, complete games in boxes and stuff. I went to Akihabara while I was hanging out in Tokyo. But you know what? Let's get nice Sam's. Get the hell out, Baked Toast. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, let me get this. Let me get this going because I have. Oh Lord, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh God, bring up my own slide presentation. I suck at this. All right, let me get this all ready. I'm gonna flip back and forth between a couple sources here. Choo-choo. Thank you once again. Thank you all so much for the subs. Thank you for the bits. Honestly, thank you for just being here. I remember it's been like 3 years since my last Japan trip, and I was streaming at that time. It was my first year of streaming, and I remember like an actual fear that I was gonna go on vacation and everybody was just gonna scatter to the winds and nobody was gonna come back when I returned, and that absolutely was not the case. I came back and everybody was still there and more people were there and it was great. So this time I had like no concerns whatsoever. I knew that I could go for like 2.5 weeks, take a vacation, enjoy myself, unwind, not worry about blighted things and other things on the internet for this time, and then come back and everything would be great. So I really appreciate y'all being here for that. So oh my God, Library Man, what's up, buddy? It's good to see you. And thank you so much for subscribing for 23 months. Jesus Christ. No, his Twitch just auto-picked with the hype train emoji. Choo-choo followed by facepalm is hilarious. You have a song to dedicate to me? Alright, well let me mute the music. Whatever could this be? I wonder. While I was gone. You're just in time too. I'm just about to break down my trip. Every day is like Sunday. Because time has no meaning, it seems like Library Man just started hanging around. It is hard to understand the passage of time anymore. It is super weird. Oh God. Like not going to Japan for 3 years. It was very, very different. A lot of it was familiar, but man, like oh God. I have a niece and nephew in Japan. And my nephew is taller. He's in middle school. And he's taller than I am. And it was the weirdest feeling. It was so bizarre. Too dark a topic with Abe's assassination happening in the middle of it. There it is. Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? What's this? Oh, that's pretty. Nice, Manic. Let me get that set up too. Yeah, the whole thing with Abe's assassination, it was a surprise. It wasn't like too. I don't know how to explain this, honestly. Like, maybe it's because I was just a visitor at the time. Maybe it's because I was at the end of my trip. Maybe it's because I'm not like plugged into a lot of like Japanese politics or anything, but like we were at Legoland that day. And we were palling around Legoland having a good time, and then we jumped on the train, we headed back to Nagoya Station, and we did some shopping there, and then we went back to my in-laws' place, and my father-in-law he picked us up at the train station, and on the way back he was just like, oh, by the way, Abe was assassinated. We were like, oh, what? And we went back, and the main news channel had the story on it, and they were reporting on it all that day and all the next day. But like, I don't know, it's like nothing really like, I didn't know. We went out like shopping and doing stuff the next day too, and like nothing was really different. There was no change in the feeling of anything there. I think I think even more so, well, much more so honestly than America, people are kind of disconnected from politics in Japan. Like, they vote, but they know who they're voting for. And they do that, and then they just tune out of it for like the rest of the year. So yeah, it was a weird experience. So, yeah, it was just weird knowing it happened, and also like kind of the fact that there was no big impact from it was also weird, if that makes sense. But yeah, and yes, once you dig into it, Abe's politics are not ones that anyone around here would be a fan of, so. But yeah, anyway, let me show you stuff, shall I? So, this was one of the first views I got when I got to Japan. This was our hotel in Tokyo. So in previous years, when we would go to Japan, my wife's family lives in Nagoya. And there used to be, like a long time ago, there used to be a direct flight from Los Angeles to Nagoya. There isn't anymore. That ended many, many, many years ago. So what we would do is we would take a flight from Los Angeles to Tokyo, and then we'd take another flight from Tokyo to Nagoya. Well, I guess because of the pandemic, they canceled those flights between Tokyo and Nagoya. So, but we'd already bought tickets. So what the airline did is they compensated us for bullet train Shinkansen tickets from Tokyo to Nagoya and then back at the end of our trip. But there's no time frame on that. So we were like, well, let's hang out in Tokyo for a couple days and do some cool shit. And that's what we did. And my wife, clever person that she is, got us a bougie AF American Express Platinum card, which is expensive as hell, but gets you a ton of perks and points and stuff. And turns out you can turn those points into really, really, really nice hotel stays. So this view is from the Conrad in Tokyo, which is apparently one of the fanciest like Western style hotels there. It starts on like the 20th floor of a high rise in downtown Tokyo, and this was the view from our room looking out towards the bay. This big green area there is like a big like public park / shrine. A lot of the platinum rewards work in Japan. You would be surprised, like credit cards are still not huge in Japan. Like, they're common, but it's also just as common for places to not accept credit cards at all. So we had to carry a lot of cash. But for whatever reason, American Express is one of the major credit cards in Japan. If a place takes credit cards, they'll probably take Amex, which is kind of shocking. And yeah, they're like rewards and stuff are accepted like all over the world and stuff. So banks as a whole are like 100 years in the past. Oh God, they really are. What's up, Lojer? Hi, good to see you. Glad you're here. I know, right? Like I always figured Amex was like on the decline because like so few places seem to take it. But I guess not. I guess they're just for bougie fuckers like us. I know, right, Arcane? And yeah, banks in Japan. I remember when I got I still have a bank account in Japan because I never wanted to bother with moving large sums of money around after I finished working there. And I would go back every year, so I actually use that money. But yeah, I remember learning that banks in Japan have basically no interest rate on your account, and some actually have like, I don't know if this has changed, but some actually had like negative interest rates. And they still have physical bank book, which one cool thing about that is you can feed your bank book into an ATM and it will fill out your financial history since the last time you did it. But at the same time, you can just do that on a phone in America. So this is one of the big things about Japan for me. They're very like, there's a lot of things that it feels like Japan is on the very cutting edge of, and a lot of things just feel like they have not evolved in the past 50 years. So yeah, online banking, what's that? Doesn't Amex have a decent presence internationally? Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. And I think that might be a big reason why they've managed to stay relevant, even with so many places in the United States not accepting Amex. Is that you can get a lot of perks around the world, and for travelers, the major institutions like hotels and travel agencies and stuff, they all accept Amex, and you get big points for doing stuff with them. So this was the first of 3 fancy hotel stays in Japan, thanks to that. But yeah, this view was fantastic, and the Conrad had a pool on like the 22nd floor, so like it was all down like one side of it was the same view as this. No, it was on like the other corner of the building, so it was half this and then half like downtown Tokyo from the pool. So me and the girls were like splashing around in the pool and like swimming laps and stuff, and then I got tired out because pasty old white man now. And I flopped on one of the big lounging chairs. I was just staring off into the Tokyo skyline with like birds flying beneath my view. It was super rad. It was great. And they had an amazing buffet too. Miss Yokohama. I've never been to Yokohama, but I've heard it's very nice. Oh, so what's up, Mr. None Ya Business? Good to see you. Because Amex charges more per charge, at least in the US. Yeah. I think, I'm pretty sure that's why it's mostly only accepted by like major chains and retailers. So, thank you. It is. I know it sounds weird, but it is good to be back. What's up, Nemrin? Actually, I should probably go ahead and address this because people like joking about this. People like bringing it up because when I was like, all right, I'm coming back. The stream starting on a Monday. People are like, why the hell are you coming back? Why are you coming back to the land of wrathful God and guns and no abortion and just all kinds of fucked up shit? And it's something that my wife and I have actually talked about a lot, and I think our feelings have evolved over time. But it's really the main thing is we just there's so much more potential and opportunity here for us. Japan does have its own challenges. The main thing though is we both have really good careers here. I get to work for a game company here. My wife is like a manager at her job now. We make enough money to have a house in Los Angeles. So yeah, right, yeah. Being stable in California, that's the other thing, is like living in California insulates us from so much of the bullshit that happens in the country. I mean, yeah, there's still shootings and national level stuff going on. But yeah, the California state government does a lot to keep us insulated from whatever dumb shit is going on elsewhere. IRS doesn't care if you don't live in America anymore. Fuckers still demand their money. Yeah. But like we have these careers here. If I lived in Japan, the only thing I could really do is go back to teaching English, like I did before I got married, and that is not really a career. Those are only ever yearly contracts with little teeny incremental raises if you choose to stay on an additional year. Stay's gonna start making his own insulin, so fucking refreshing. Governor's showing himself to be an Uber chat too. So I was talking with Not a Roguelike about this a bit, because I went and visited our good friend Not a Roguelike while I was in Tokyo. I'll get to that eventually. But Gavin Newsom is like the best greasy fuck politician ever. Like, he is absolutely a Democratic machine politician. Like, he will do whatever it takes to stay in power, and just like grease the right palms. But in California, that means doing all the right things. So it kind of works out. I think the recall, what was it, a year or two ago, kind of put the fear of God into him. He was a bit slimier and a bit more reticent to make big moves before the recall. But then once that hit, I mean, he was all fire and brimstone, and that was reflected in the recall election. And I think now he's just running with that. So yeah, it's if we're gonna have a scumfuck politician, he's the best one we could hope for. So, because he's actually doing good stuff in his own scummy way. Garcetti is also scummy and seems... Yeah, Garcetti is like the bad version of that. Garcetti is just like... He's in bed with too many scummy types to do the right kind of thing. Kind of energy is needed now more than ever. I don't care if you do the right thing for the wrong reason. Just do the right thing. But yeah. So yeah, we stayed, let's see. We got into Tokyo on Saturday. That's right, because we left on, right? No, we got there on Friday, so we stayed here Friday night. And then Saturday, so, I don't know how well you can see it in this picture, but there's a bridge here, a really cool bridge. It's got like a lower deck and upper deck, like 2 lanes in both directions on both decks, and it has a train line running through the middle of it. And the train line is really cool because to get up to the proper elevation for that bridge, it has to go around a big loop over off the right side of the picture here. Is that Rainbow Bridge? I'm not actually sure. There are a lot of bridges in Tokyo. It might be, though. And then the train goes all along here, and we end up going to a mall over here because we went to this place. We took our kids this place on Saturday called Kidzania. Let me show you that. So, Kidzania, it's like a little theme park inside a mall. And you make a reservation either for early in the day around lunchtime or later in the day. I think we end up going in at 4. And what it is it's like a little pretend city. And each of these numbers is like a real world job that kids can try doing. So like number 1 here at the entrance of the place is a big like airliner fuselage. Kids can be a pilot. Number 2 is Mossburger, so they can learn to make burgers. There's a whole automotive and train section over here. They can be firefighters. They could be cops and judges, which I was really hoping that there was going to be some kind of thing where like there was like a burglar job, because there's a bank too. 48 is a bank. I was hoping there was going to be a burglar job where like kids would go and rob the bank, and then the kid cops would come and arrest the kid burglar and take the kid burglar in front of the kid judge and get thrown into kid jail. But no, they don't go that deep with it, unfortunately. But yeah, there are a lot of cool jobs here. And there's places to eat. Well, the really neat thing is there's my kids did a couple of the food ones. They did number 9, which is here. If y'all have ever had haichu, it's making haichu. Let me zoom in on this bit. There we go. But they get, where's the kid tax fraud? But yeah, the kids actually like make candy and shape it and cut it and pack it, and they get their own labeled packages that they decorate with stickers and stuff. This is apparently the most popular activity there, and so we paid to get in a little bit early. A lot of like Japanese kids stuff have early access passes. Like you pay a little extra money and you get in like anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour early. We got in early to here and we lined up for this first. And before the place had officially opened, like all the reservations for this one were gone. Making candies are popular? Oh, hell yes. Well, haichu's really popular. Yeah, for kids, heck yeah. Kid cops have to make deals with the kid user information. That would have been cool too. That would have been super cool. And yeah, this is what it looked like outside, the Morinaga Sweets Factory. This was funny too, because it was right next to, I hope I can find it. Was it this one? It was right next to the Suntory Beverage Service Center. And so while my kids were in there making candy, I was looking at this and I was watching kids go in there. I was like, oh, cool. Do they get to like make soda? Or like, do they get to well, they're probably not brew beer. But do they get to like make drinks and stuff? No. What this one is, do you see this little cart in here? What the kids at the Beverage Service Center do is they load up the cart with drinks, and then they take them to the other side of the park to a vending machine, and they load a vending machine. So if you want your child to have the experience of pushing a hand truck and loading a vending machine, here you go. Some of these, like, I didn't look real hard into some of these, but there was like a call center one that I was really curious. Like, I wasn't gonna have my kids do it, but like, yeah. Oh, fuck, I would have loved to load a vending machine as a kid. I shouldn't joke too much because my kids, they did a bunch of the gacha machines, the random capsule machines, and one of the machines that they absolutely had to do was a gacha of little model vending machines that actually vend like drinks and snacks and stuff. So they've got those out in the living room right now. The mechanics of it would have been so cool. I shouldn't undersell it because kids can be interested in all kinds of stuff. I wonder if I could just like, well, let me just go through these. I wish it would. Anyway, here's the airline one. My younger daughter did this. My younger daughter was a pilot, 6-year-old pilot. You can also be a flight attendant if you want, and tell people how to use their flotation devices and such. I want to see the vending machine. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna go steal their toys real quick. Sit tight. Okay, here we go. Y'all fly ANA best plane ride? Yes, we flew ANA. We used to fly JAL, but they got too expensive. Part of me is like, this theme park is adorable, and the other part of me is like, this is dystopian. Okay, let me embiggen myself here so you can see this. All right, so my younger daughter got a little teeny coffee machine. Do it. You almost had it. I'm moving around too much. So yeah, so this one you load it from the top, and then the buttons. Let's see here. The buttons on the side work. I probably shouldn't do this because these things are so itty bitty. Oh, there's one. Okay. She was like serious. She was like, do not lose any of these. It's that big. There's no way this camera's gonna pick that up, but yeah. So yeah, my younger daughter got that one. Hang on, let me put this back before I lose it and lose her love forever. All right, safe and sound, thank God. My older daughter got this one. This is like a chocolate vending machine. So the coffee one, you'd load it like from the top, and then you'd push the button and it would just drop them down internally. This one you can actually like, it's so hard to see, but you can actually see inside of it. Oh, that's actually, wow, camera, good work. I'm impressed. So you load it from the front, and then you can push these buttons. Problem is it doesn't quite work. The idea is you push the button and it opens up a little slot in the shelf, and it drops down inside. But I think the boxes are just slightly the wrong size or whatever. It's just as well though, because otherwise they'd fall out and you never see them again. Do the makeup YouTuber trick of putting your hand behind it? I should, shouldn't I? And then I shouldn't have made fun of this, because that pretty much guaranteed that my older daughter was going to do it. But my older daughter decided to go full meta. She got a gotcha machine, gotcha machine. And yes, it works. Yeah, she got a gotcha gotcha. Cause that's my older daughter. I should screenshot chat right now and show her tomorrow, except I will literally never hear the end of it. Ever. Fucking psychic. So yeah, they also let's see, they've also did some One Piece gotchas and got some of the current characters. And then my younger daughter did a Precure one, which Precure is kind of like modern Sailor Moon. Aw, I'm gonna show her all of these likes that she got because of her cleverness. She's earned it. She got a ring from like the current season or whatever. That was cool. Precure is great. There's a billion different series because every season they do a different theme, and some of them go kind of nuts, honestly. Like there's the one season I really liked was when they were bakers. They were magical bakers, and the bad guys were like removing deliciousness from the world. So they would go out and they would bake the monsters into cakes to get deliciousness back. It was awesome. It was really great. The current season is another food one, but I didn't quite catch the actual, like, the specific theme of it. Hate to admit it, but I like Precure. I watch a lot of Precure. I like it too. The other interesting thing is they kind of have different feels between the seasons. Like there's an older one, several years out of date now, where there were just two main characters and it was really goofy and really silly. I like that one a lot. Some of them are actually played more straight. Some of them are really hard. There's one, if I just okay, I'm going to explain what the theme is, and you're going to be like, what in the fuck? But, so Golden Line, what are you talking about? I'm talking about an anime franchise called Precure. Pretty Cure. It's kind of like the modern successor to Sailor Moon, although Sailor Moon didn't really go away. Actually, let me see if I can find visual aid for this. I guess Tropical Rouge is the current one. Oh, wait, are they on Crunchyroll? Nope, that was a terrible idea. Hang on a sec. That's microscopic. What do you normally stream? Video games, normally. It's just, I just came back from Japan. I've been in Japan for like the last 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks, actually. And okay. I was anticipating being jet lagged all to hell tonight, so I wasn't planning on streaming like anything where I had to do anything. I was just gonna talk about my vacation. But the funny thing is, I'm not actually jet lagged this time. It's weird. I was super jet lagged when I went, which never happened before. I was always fine when I went to Japan. And then I would get jet lagged for like a week coming back. Oh, this will work. Okay, cool. But yeah, this time I got jet lagged for like 2 or 3 days going, and now I feel fine. So I don't know how the hell that happened. But anyway, this is a lot of the main characters from Precure. They tend to be pink. Whoever the main character is tends to be very pink. I just got a negative 100% jet lag modifier. Maybe because I got it early this time. But yeah, they always have a different thing. Like I know some of these. Like this one here. This one here is like the first one I saw. This is like Princess Precure, where they all go to like a princess school. This one I think is the beach volleyball Precure. This one was the baker. That's right, because they had like baking. It was like a baking theme, but like animals. I forget her name, but she was bunny themed. The one I really liked was the chocolate lady, and her theme was like a fox or something. Precure tends to be really cute and charming. When they fight, they beat the every. Yes, they do. They do. Some of the fights are pretty, especially in the movies. Some of the fights are pretty hardcore. There's no blood or anything. Like they don't get like gory or anything, but they will beat the shit out of each other. Watch a single unit of anime while you're in Japan. Akira for the first time in a decade. Nice. Just don't bake the animals. Okay, this one right here was the one where I was like, okay, I'm gonna explain this, and you're gonna think it's really fucked up, but it's not. This one. Okay. I just want to say, the theme isn't really like teen moms, but it kind of is, because all the Precures get their power from something, right? Some like little sprite, some little familiar, some little animal. This time it was a baby. For this one, they had a baby they had to take care of. And motherhood was a very strong theme of that season. And I know it sounds really fucked up, but the way they handled it was great. It was really cute. It was really funny. And oh my god, like the final episode after they beat the bad guy, and then like pretty much at the end of every season, when they finally beat the big bad, whatever spirit it is that grants the Precures their powers goes away, and they have like a big conclusion, and the girls go on with their lives or whatever. This one, when they had to say goodbye to the baby, was just like, oh my god. Definitely no weird birthday things happening around here these days. Read an old shoujo manga called Cypher is pretty good. The anime is like legendary tier awful. That's always sad. That's always sad when you get a really shitty anime out of what would otherwise be a really interesting series. So yeah, that's Precure. If you like, I don't think it really has the crossover appeal that Sailor Moon does. It also doesn't have the benefit Sailor Moon had of being like the only anime that a lot of Westerners saw during their young, impressionable childhoods. So I wouldn't exactly recommend anybody go out and watch Precure, because it's very much targeted to like young, like elementary school age girls. But if you're a parent and your kids are into it and you have to watch it, it's actually not bad. That's Precure. Anyway, so Kidzania. Yeah, there was the airplane, making burgers. My kids did the pizza one, which was also really popular. I think that's... Yeah, Pizza Law. This one, they actually made their own pizzas, like start to finish. They kneaded the dough, they shaped it, they put the sauce, the toppings, everything. They ran it through the oven. Make a little personal pizza. That was really cool. Also another really popular one. Then the anime with two brothers kiss because a manga kick thought America's siblings kiss all their Yikes. Right next to that one, I kind of wanted the girls to do this, but I kind of understand why they didn't want to. You can make sausage. You actually make your own like foot-long hot dog. And apparently you can shape it into balloon animal shapes too. I missed that part. But yeah, you make wieners. And they honestly look pretty good. I was just kind of hungry that night, I think. What's up, Hive Hum? Good to see you. First they need the dough. How else do they make a pizza? Womp womp. Fuck that, kids need to know how that sausage is made. That's what I'm saying. Right? There was some other really cool stuff. They did, I think it was 23. Yeah. There's a driving school. So, okay, this was one neat thing about Kidzania. It wasn't just doing the activities. They actually kind of went all in on, like, glimpsing the world of adults. So most of the activities, when you did them, you would get play money for them. I forget what they called it. It was some really cute name. But the kids would get play money, right? And then other activities where you actually got something for it. Like, I remember my kids did the ice cream stand where you learn how to serve ice cream. They didn't pay you play money. You had to pay them play money because you were actually getting something for it. And there was also like a bank where they could deposit their money. They could apply for a credit card that they could use at places instead of actually using the play money. And then this was another one where they could spend their money to take a driving test and get a driver's license. And then if they got their driver's license, they could do other driving activities. So you actually had to be licensed to drive before they would let you drive, which I thought was really cute. We need more music. There we go. That's some sausage making. How do we make this more soul crushing? Open up at the side. I think, you know, when I was Googling, hang on one sec, I'm gonna Google this. When I was Googling Kidzania, okay, so you joke about that. So there's an American one in Texas. So how about that? I did not know this. I actually learned this today. I thought Kidzania was exclusively like, I thought it was only in Tokyo, but apparently it's a worldwide thing, and the American one is in Texas. So it also, just looking at the map, looks exactly like where's your map? Are there any COVID-19 measures in place? In Texas? No. Fucking nope. Kidzania Global. Oh my god, look at this. So, I didn't want to say Texas, I was definitely thinking Texas. So yeah, Chicago, New York, Texas. Yeah, they're all over the place. Oh, wait. The orange ones I think are tentative because they're planning one in Nagoya. And it's, yeah, coming soon. Yeah. Why is Chicago that low down? I'm freaking out. I think because I'm zoomed in on this, it's not rendering correctly. America will probably has a Karen verbally abuses you for half an hour activity. Yeah. So anyway, this is not a phenomenon exclusive to Japan. Everyone wants to break down the illusions of adult life. But it was neat. It was really, really cool. Kids had a great time. We were there until like 9, but some of the activities started ending around like 8 because some of them take like really long time. There were some that we wanted to do. My older daughter wanted to make. You could make glasses, like you could customize your own pair of glasses. We couldn't do that one. That one sold out really fast. There was like a shoe design shop. You didn't get shoes, but you could make a design of a shoe and print it out. They couldn't do that one either. My older daughter is actually super into cars, and we're gonna talk about that soon because we went to a car museum. But one of the things that she was able to do here is, let's see, that would be 24. Yeah, there's a car design studio where they actually get like modeling clay and they get to shape it into like a car, like the most, you know, most basic level car design prototyping stuff. But she was super excited about that. That was really, really cool. Because USA teaches you about deductibles and copays. But yeah, this was really cool. This was super fun. So that was God, I've been talking for nearly an hour, and I've only gotten like a day and a half into my trip. Buckle up, chat. We may be here for a while. So on Sunday, my first Sunday there, my wife and kids went ahead and went on to Nagoya to stay with my in-laws. I stayed in Tokyo because your friend and mine, Not a Roguelike, lives in Tokyo, and I had not seen him in 3 years. So we booked a hotel room really near his place, and I hung out with him on Sunday and Monday, and that was great. He lives in a really, really cool part of Tokyo. We walked around a lot. We ate at a really, really good yakiniku place. Where, strangely enough, I had like the best daikon I'd ever had. Daikon's like the big, huge, long, white radish. I hate it. I hate daikon. I find it super bitter. I don't generally enjoy it. But they had it in this soup that was just really, really good. Like legit good. Yakiniku black hole. Afraid not. But yeah. So we just kind of hung out on Sunday, and then Monday we went to Akihabara, and I pulled up an image of Akihabara just for reference. We didn't do or see anything crazy in Akihabara. I have to save you from another food. Daikon dude. No starfish. God, never again. Never again. Isn't wasabi just shredded daikon? No. Wasabi is made from a very different. It is very much its own thing. And actually on Monday for dinner we stopped at a sushi place, and I forgot because I'm really used to wasabi being something you opt into at all the places that I go to. I forgot that wasabi comes on sushi by default in a lot of places, and I got like 6 pieces of sushi with just a load of wasabi on them and set my sinuses on fire. So that was exciting. Yeah. It was still good. It was still good. I honestly think wasabi is something that I could get used to eventually if I ate it a lot, but I also have no interest in doing that. Because wasabi to me is like, it's a tiny bit of flavor and a lot of pain. And I don't find that appealing, like, at all. So, it's one of those, I could, but why would I thing. So, I had never been to Akihabara. We walked around. There were a lot of really, really cool game shops, retro game shops. We saw all kinds of old, like, Famicom, Super Famicom, just everything. There was one shop that had a Virtual Boy set up that you could play, and Not a Roguelike was bold enough to play it for more than 30 seconds, which I was not. Heard a lot of the arcades closed during COVID. Yes. The arcades were, Not a Roguelike confirmed, the arcades were hit pretty hard by COVID. There are still several open. We went to a couple just to look around. We went to a Sega Center. Sega's big famous one closed. But there are still other ones. So I Not a Roguelike isn't here. They went blind. We don't talk about that. It's too soon. What's the masking situation like there right now? I'm glad you asked, Prager. For the entire 2.5 weeks that I was there, I think I saw maybe 3 people not wearing a mask. And they were very obviously punk-ass kids. Everyone masks all the time. There are bottles of sanitizer at every doorway, and most shops will remind you to use it if you're going to be touching anything. We ate at a couple buffets at the hotels we stayed at. They had mandatory gloves for handling anything. All service people like wear gloves all the time. Yeah, being in Japan was the safest I have felt from COVID in like for this whole pandemic. It was such a relief. It was so nice. It's just, yeah. I agree. And you know, the interesting thing is even in Japan, there is criticism of how the government handled the COVID response, because while the public was very accepting of not even like a full mandate, but like very accepting of suggestions to mask and use sanitizer and distance and all that stuff, the government was not very clear on the actual measures going into place and like when things should be open and when things should be closed. So yeah, even with that level of safety and concern going on, like there's still criticism be leveled at the government for how they responded. So here I went to one of my favorite independent fast food places yesterday and no one was met. Yeah, I know. I mean, that was the first thing that I noticed when I landed at LAX, is pretty much nobody's wearing a mask anywhere. It was nice on the plane flight back. On the plane flight there, everybody was masked because it was, you know, it's pretty hard to go to Japan right now. So on the plane flight there, it was almost all Japanese or Asian folks. Everybody was masked, no issues. On the way back, it was a lot more expats, and the flight crew was very, very strict about people wearing masks. They were like, this is required. If you are not eating or drinking, you have to have a mask on. And they were even getting on people for like talking loudly and stuff, or like loitering around the bathroom. So that was really nice. And then I get back to the United States and nobody gives a fuck about anything. So yeah. I like to point out that Oddish is back. The stream is live, but not a roguelike is nowhere to be found. I had nothing to do with it, okay? I'm just saying. Still wear your mask? I do too. I do. Everyone in my family does. And it's frustrating to me that even here in California, people just gave up. Like, I really need, I know you all know, but just to reemphasize, like, I have really never seen a country capitulate, a country just fucking give up as hard as the United States has in the face of Corona. Like, literally go to any other country in the world, and they are taking this shit more seriously than Americans are. Like, Americans are fucking quitters. And it's the truth. So. And I'm more concerned about it now than ever with the new, BA.5 variant that apparently doesn't really care if you're vaccinated or not. I'm super concerned about that. I'm going to be even more cautious now than I was before. Yes, it's because they made it a political issue. But you know, if your political stance is I give up, you're still a quitter. Freedom. See maybe 3 other people masked when I go to the grocery. Here in California, man, it is such a clear divide. Here in California, every Asian person is masked. Like, every Indian person is masked. Like, everybody except the fucking white people are masked. Like, it's not even a joke. It is not reverse racism or whatever. It's the fucking white people who are not wearing masks and not taking any precautions whatsoever. And I overheard it all the time when I was picking my kids up from school. Like, oh, yeah, so, yeah, my friend got COVID. We're all getting tested. And then I wouldn't see that person picking up their kid for like a week and a half. Get a mask up until COVID goes away, which means probably forever. I'm totally gonna do the same. Like, have I ever showed you guys my mask? I love my mask. I was gonna show you my mask, but they're in my, I leave them in my car so I can't forget them. But I have really cute masks that I got from work. At work, you're the only one masked. Thankfully, I'm quitting this Friday. Good call. The challenge is finding a place where that's not going to be true, you know? Frustrates the hell out of me when people don't wear masks. Feels like there's sometimes a silent pressure for wearing a mask when I'm out. So I have felt that too. I totally get it. When you are the only person wearing a mask, there's this weird even if nobody is giving you weird looks, even if nobody is saying a word, you just you get this feeling. And I've had a number of times here, going to pick up my kids or going to school functions or whatever, where like it gets in my head, like I feel like I'm the crazy one for being concerned. And I'm smart enough to know that yes, it's a legit concern. I should be masking. I should be staying away from people. I shouldn't be going out to big crowded things or whatever. But the fact that literally everybody else around me is doing it starts to make me feel like I'm crazy. And I really have to remind myself, you know, it's, you know, I'm an open-minded person. If I think something and everybody else around me thinks something, then I'm open to the possibility that maybe I'm mistaken on it, right? I know I'm not here. I know I'm not. I know it's the people around me who have just fucking given up on taking care of themselves and the people around them. But it's hard. It's genuinely hard sometimes to cling to that when it's just day after day you see just like nobody else doing it. So I feel fortunate that there are still so many people here in my area, like the Asian and minority folks, who actually do mask up and take precautions. Because otherwise, I'd just feel like I completely lost my mind. I want a Waluigi mask. Yeah, it is definitely not just you, Shadow. It is not just you. Yeah. God, how old is that? Wasn't that article from like 2017 or something? It was like early in the Trump era. I don't know how to tell you that you should care about other people is more relevant than it ever was, and yet it seems so much harder to just get through to folks. Yeah, it's that weird social pressure. And I know, you know, I know that's a factor in why a lot of other people don't wear masks, you know? I feel like it's a failure at all levels. I feel like if you know, public officials and public personalities, if we saw them wearing masks more, if we saw them taking precautions more, I feel like it would make people feel more comfortable to do the same. You know, it's somebody in chat earlier said Americans are sheep, and that's absolutely true. As much as we don't like to believe that, as much as we like to believe that America is the land of personal responsibility and lone wolves and whatnot, people here are fucking sheep. They will look at what the folks around them are doing. They'll listen to the angry talking heads on TV, and they will just vapidly nod their heads and go along with it. And I feel like the failure for people to mask, to continue masking, is all about that. I think there are a lot of people all over who would mask if they felt like it was more socially acceptable to do, but because so many people have just pig-headedly given up on it, they feel this weird pressure not to do it too. One of the things that annoyed you about Newsom? Yeah. I wish these people, like, it happens at all levels, and I just wish people would I wish there was somebody like actually making a show of it. There's so many people in this country that make a big show about not wearing masks and shit. Like, oh, look at me exercising my freedoms to fucking be Typhoid Mary around everyone I know and love. But I can't really think of anybody making a show of being masked. And I feel like that's kind of the most important thing right now. Maybe I should start showing up to streams masked. Maybe I should just do all my streams masked. Well, I mean, I'd be preaching in the choir, but still. Better than nothing, right? What's up, Toast? How you doing? I agree with Go Play Games. I see him on my screen, so he must be right. Trump absolutely caught COVID. Trump made a public appearance while he was at the height of his COVID infection, and he looked like he was going to drop dead on the spot. And it's a goddamn shame he did. But that's in the past. If Go Play a Game showed up to his streams masked, I would know that it is cool. Maybe I will. I have great masks, too. I love my mask. So, yeah. But anyway, to reiterate, Japan feels like one of the safest places in the world for COVID. I mean, they still have a fair number of cases. Like, it's still spreading, but it's much more under control there. Oh, there's also we all had to install an app on our phone, like an official government app that tracks your vaccination status and also notifies you. It's basically contact tracing. You know, that other thing, very easy thing that we could do in the United States that we never fucking did ever to contain this shit. Contact tracing. Can you suggest some good masks? I'd love to improve my mask game, especially for glasses wearers. I mean, at this point, like, what is it? The N95 masks? You really want something with a filter. The cloth ones don't cut it. Although I'm a bit of a hypocrite on that. I still wear a cloth mask because I really like it. And I just tend to stay the fuck away from people. But yeah. California is a voluntary form of that. You need your Bluetooth. Well, see, the moment you throw voluntary in there, it's basically pointless. Like, nothing gets done in the United States without some kind of mandate. You can't suggest that Americans do something. You can't even really tell Americans to do something unless it's inherently regressive and destructive. Because Republicans will do whatever the fuck their masters tell them. To get people to actually do something smart, like, it has to be law. Like, you have to know the police are coming for your ass if you don't do it. Which is also its own can of worms that we probably don't want to open, so we're kind of fucked either way when you think about it. Don't look up what the cops did in Albuquerque, by the way. Don't do that unless you really want to be sad. Anything is mandatory is people firing AR-15s in the air with the Eagle Streak in the back. Yeah. Been a lot of cop incidents. Yeah, that's underselling it, if anything. So let's see. Yeah, I went to a bunch of used game shops. I'm actually gonna talk about my trip again, if that's okay. I got this. I didn't buy much. Y'all would probably be mad at me if I took pictures of the stuff that I saw, because I saw so many like boxed copies of like wizardry games and like SMT games. Used games in Japan are generally more reasonably priced than they are in the States. But the more common game, there's a big there's a big discrepancy. Like, y'all know, like the most common games here are going to be like, the most common used games are gonna be like the yearly sports games, or like the pack-ins for the systems, like Super Mario World or stuff like that. I did go to Super Potato, yes. Not a roguelike, was determined to take me to Super Potato, and we went, and it was fucking rad. But actually, the really common ones to see in used game stores in Japan are the RPG, because everybody played the RPG. It is super, super easy to get a used copy of any Final Fantasy or any Dragon Quest or all kind of Tales games. So that's pretty cool. Mother 3, I saw quite a few copies of Mother 3. Reasonably priced as well. Nice ice cream with Tillamook mint. I want that so bad. I'm the only person in my family that likes mint, and it is a cross I bear. But anyway, I did get this. This was 300 yen, which with the current exchange rate is like $2.50. This is, I think this is actually the last Game Boy Color game ever published. I think. But this is a one-piece RPG. Going through, I think it goes through the early part of the Grand Line, like Drum Island and Arabasta and stuff. I've tried to play it a bit. My younger daughter played this quite a bit. Yes, this is the open world One Piece RPG. The last Game Boy Color game is M Captivity of the Galaxy's Piece. I also assume Yakuza Ryu Go. Yes, yeah. Yakuza games are pretty easy to pick up. My younger daughter played this. So I took the Analog Pocket with me to Japan, which was nice. But I also did run into some compatibility issues with it. I took a bunch of GBA games with me. Some of them would not start up for whatever reason, and this one crashed a couple times and eventually deleted my daughter's save data, which fortunately she wasn't too torn up about. But I'm not sure if my Pocket needs a firmware update. It could also be the battery in this for the memory could be dying. I don't know, but as nice as I've been feeling more and more like this about the Pocket. As amazing a piece of hardware it is, and I do love it. I do absolutely love it. I played a bunch of GBA Castlevania while I was in Japan during my downtime, and on the Pocket it is wonderful. But as I try to play more and more stuff on it, I do run into more and more compatibility issues. Again, I don't know if it's the cartridge or a compatibility issue with the system, but as an early proponent of the Pocket, I feel obligated to let y'all know that I have been having issues with it. It's almost as if FPGA isn't a magic wand that makes emulation any better. I mean, nobody says that, so. But yeah, so that was really cool. Oh, and then, let's see, where was it? How'd the Switches work out? Strangely enough, my kids didn't really play Switch while we were in Japan. They were way more into playing, or not even playing, but watching Japanese TV. Because we don't really watch TV here. They were just, my older daughter just wanted to watch like everything on TV. Should work fine. Yeah, the Switches, as far as I know, the Switches don't have any kind of region protection or anything. Because I know we've switched the languages around on theirs so they could get more Japanese practice. And we have tried some Japanese bought cartridges in them, but yeah. Yeah, they just weren't really that interested in playing games, which really surprised me. As soon as we got back, they were playing the shit out of them. Trying the cloud gaming games while you're there? No, not really. I played some stuff on the Pocket, and I played a bunch of stuff on my phone. I downloaded a bunch more garbage games on my phone to waste time. Oh yeah, so I know, right? Japan was actually more distracting than the Switch. We were both relieved. So on Monday, after we came back from Akihabara, Naruto took me to this shopping mall where there's all kinds of figure and collectible stores. And not just Japanese ones. I mean, we went to some really cool Japanese ones. We went to one that was all all kinds of Godzilla figures and memorabilia. We went to one that was all Ultraman figures and memorabilia. Oh shit, it's you! Hey, buddy! Came in just in time for the name drop. We've actually been talking about you quite a bit because I've been trying to run through the events of my trip, and I've pretty much just been caught on like the first 3 or 4 days. Yeah, I told him about our adventures in Akihabara. Why are you wearing your wedding clothes? Anyway, we found one store that had a whole bunch of Star Wars collectibles. And I had to get a picture. I considered buying them. I briefly considered buying this, but I figured a picture would do well enough here. You have that one? Oh my god, dude. To say I'm sorry. We saw the Dark Trooper one too. But yeah, I don't think I was ever aware of this. The thing that killed me about this one is, so I guess whatever figure they had to paint over had a beard. And so they were like, oh, it's Jedi Outcast Kyle Katarn. But then they decided to say he's from Dark Forces video game. And I guess the only screenshot they had was from the original Dark Forces, where he doesn't have a beard. So they literally just like scribbled a beard onto him. I could not get over that. But yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, paint the Jedi Knight beard on the Dark Forces cutscene. Dude, stroke of genius. I love Star Wars Dark Forces video game. Looks like a Mass Effect 1 character. Grow a beard like that? No. Because I have this hat now, and I actually have permission from my wife to do this. I'm gonna do the full Luigi outfit for Halloween this year, and I'm gonna grow the mustache. So, spoiler alert, chat. But Halloween is gonna be very eventful around here this year. Kyle Katarn's cat hair mustache. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So yeah, hung out with Not a Roguelike on Sunday and Monday, and then on Tuesday, I went back to I went to Nagoya, met up with my family. That first full week we were there, my kids actually went to public school. This is something that we started doing with my older daughter on previous trips, and she really enjoyed it. So, school in Japan, if you didn't know, works a bit differently. Elementary school, you just kind of go to the one for your area. But middle school and high school, you have to apply to like college entrance style. You have to study, you have to take exams, and you have to apply to specific ones. And the good ones are really, really hard to get into. And my I like Spy Family. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm just gonna say yes. I know school in Japan works differently. I played Persona 4. But yeah, so I think, let me see, if I remember correctly, so next year is the last year that my older daughter can do this, that she can go to public school, because then after that she's gonna be middle school age, and we can't just randomly drop her in a middle school for like a week or whatever. But my younger daughter, she'll be able to do this for a couple of years. So yeah, that first full week, the kids were going to school, making new friends, having a great time. Every month someone gets murdered. And during that time, my wife and I, we went out and we did some shopping. Had some good food. I ate at the most amazing katsu place, like fried pork. So good. Had a lot of really good food. Oh, before I met up with him in Nagoya, I ate at Japanese McDonald's. They're doing it. Let me see if I can find this. Actually, some of you will be all over this. But, how the fuck do you spell McDonald's? yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Did you eat the new rice burger? I did not. I only ate there once. I wanted to show you all this because it's like a Gundam themed menu that they have right now. Burger King. I had this one, which was just kind of okay. I wanted to have this one, and I never actually got the chance. The white triple cheeseburger. This one is a spicy double cheeseburger. This one has like some kind of special spicy cheese and jalapenos on it. Burger on the right looks nuts. Yeah, they actually. Okay, I have to see if I can find this now. When I was living in Japan, they had the dumbest promotion. Oh, yeah. Japanese Burger King had the dumbest promotion I've ever seen for something. Because remember, this is Japan. People do not eat like Americans in Japan. No, the Black Burger was actually pretty cool. The Black Burger was actually kind of neat. Was it dumber than Thing Burger? You tell me. I have been tempted in my life. I admit this freely, chat. I was tempted to get the Thing Burger when it was around, and I never got around to it. I was tempted to try the Carl's Jr. All-American Burger that had hot dog and not French fries, potato chips on it. I was never tempted to get the Windows 7 Whopper. Could have been worse, could have been the Vista Burger. That blue screen burger coma. You know, I've heard the Thing Burger was fine, and in retrospect, I kind of regret not trying it. I think I would have enjoyed it. Windows NT Burger. But yeah. So yeah, not the weirdest, far from the weirdest promotion I've ever seen. McDonald's has had, Japanese McDonald's has had some really cool promotions in the past. One of the trips I went on previously, they had like Hawaiian themed burgers. So like Loco Moco burgers. So they had like fried egg and big thick slices of ham on them. They did like all kinds of crispy and spicy chicken one year. I think that might have been the year. For a while, I actually don't know if they still had it. Japanese McDonald's has this thing called Shaka Shaka Chicken, which was fried chicken. It was a fried chicken tender served in a paper bag, and it would come with like a seasoning packet, and you would dump the seasoning packet in there, and then you'd shake it up. That was the Shaka Shaka part. And supposedly they were really good. I never actually tried one. What's up, Vesty? People just thought it was funny because it was garnished with Thing sauce. Well, if we're gonna get down to why it appealed to me, I mean, imagine the Windows ME burger was basically half of one patty, a crushed tomato slice, a piece of paper with a pickle on it, on a bun that's not being cut. Huge missed opportunity not to say it's slobbering time. Korean chicken chain your area does that with fries. I have seen that for fries in a couple places, and yes, that's super good. What's up, Fury Fighter? How you doing? Same to you, buddy. Globber into that Thing sauce. So yeah, first full week in Japan. After I got to Nagoya, mostly hanging out with the in-laws, hanging out with my kids, doing some shopping. I bought a bunch of new clothes and shoes and stuff. You'll probably start seeing new T-shirts. I wanted to wear the party shirt tonight because I'm back. It's a party. But you'll see some new shirts coming in the days ahead. And then let's see, on Saturday. Oh, we're about to sleep. Want to say hi before I fuck off? Well, thank you, Fury Fighter. I hope you fuck off well. Have you seen OS 10? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. So on Saturday, 1 week after we made it to Japan, we went to the Tokyo Automotive Museum, which was super cool. Really, really cool. Good night, buddy. Like I said, my older daughter is super into cars right now. She is mega into cars. She likes learning about all the makes, the models, the history of them. She, while we were here, she bought her first car model and put it together. It was a snap kit, but she could not wait to get into it could not wait to get into it that night. And she slapped that sucker together. Let me see if I can go get it, actually. Hang on. All right, I got it. They're actually still up. What the hell? All right. Beginning time. It is a Toyota CHR. Come on, camera. You can do it. Focus on the car, not my hand. There we go. There we go. I feel like she did a pretty good job on this. She wanted, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, is that a hair? Ew. I'm not gonna lie. She wanted like a $60, $70 model kit of some concept car, and we were like, nah, we ain't doing that. And she was kind of crushed at first, and then we agreed to get her this model kit, and she was super excited about that. So, but yeah, the car museum was really neat. It wasn't just Toyota cars. This is a tiny body in the trunk. Crossover pure hatchback. It's actually an SUV, I believe. Right? Oh, actually, it might be a hatchback. I'm not sure about the scale on this. Oh no, it is a hatchback. Never mind. Tiny gnarl voodoo doll. So yeah, and it went through the whole history of consumer car. So it started with the original like horseless carriages, and then moved into like the Model Ts. It was all kinds of international cars too. A lot of French and Italian, German cars, some really interesting Japanese cars. Like they had like a wartime truck model that they used. They had the biggest fucking Cadillac I had ever seen in my life. Just a giant boat of a pink Cadillac that I thought was fucking hilarious. All right, chat, that's great. And they had it divided into historical zones with some useful context for each of them. So that was really cool. Yeah, neat museum. Very glad I went. Oh, they had some other displays too, like this one. They had a room full of like all kinds of different car, like memorabilia and stuff. Like so, there was a couple shelves of like box car models that you could get. They had this center display of just like, I think these are all like Tomica cars. And then you can almost kind of see it here, but like these displays were all the different emblems and hood ornaments throughout history. And they had a really neat display. My daughter was super into this because she's really curious about makes. They had I think they were actually on the other side of this because it was a long row of glass displays. They had car makes by like decade, and then how long they lasted. And it was really interesting because she had no idea there were like hundreds of car makers throughout history. Since there's, you know, it's especially in the United States, it's narrowed down to only a few. So that was a really, really neat history lesson. Since you went to Japan, does that mean you're immortal now? No, because I fell from grace and returned to the blighted United States. It's only if you hike Fuji. I remember the time when you could have had a hood ornament and not rely on it being stolen in 5 minutes. There were some crazy ass hood ornaments. I should have taken a picture of the hood ornaments because, man, back in the day, there were some fucking nutty ones. There is one. I swear to God, it was the fucking armorer from the Mandalorian, just like a full dude in plate armor with like an anvil and his hammer raised, and you were supposed to drive around with this shit on the front of your car. I was like, holy fuck. There were all kinds of like Mercury and Apollo, like winged deities. There was one, I swear to God, it was like this big. It didn't look like a hood ornament. It looked like a bust. It was crazy. So yeah, that was super, super cool. Yeah, you're immortal. Just don't leave. Just don't leave ever. Those Bosozoku cars still have that? I could never pull that off, but I admire anyone who can. So yeah, after the car museum, we went to the gift shop. Of course, we bought so much shit while we were in Japan. I got a lot more stuff to show you. Oh God, sorry, 10:30. Okay. So my older daughter got her first model kit and built her own first model car, right? So what did my 6-year-old get? Well, she got a car of a person with a butt for a face. And I'm guessing this probably needs a little bit of explanation here. Let me see. No, not really. Let's see. Here we go. There is a series, a very, very popular series in Japan called Oshiri Tante, which is basically like butt detective. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, you're so small. I need giant butt detective. I need just fill my screen. Make it huge. Yeah, that'll do. There we go. This motherfucker right here. So more butt cars now, please. This is Japan, that's the explanation. It covers most of it. But yes, it started, I think it started as like a kid's book series, like mystery books. But yeah, he's a detective. He has a butt for a face. That actually comes into play a lot of the time. He can fart from his face, and he does that sometimes to like lose pursuers. What is his power? Well, the main thing is he's a detective. He is the butt detective. And I don't need to tell you that his character is played completely straight. Absolutely 100% completely straight. Everyone around him is like silly and goofy and stuff, but he is like Sherlock fucking Holmes up in this, okay? He has a butt for a face. How is that not power enough? I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand enough of. I watched some episodes with my daughter. I don't understand enough about what's going on. We better be playing. I mean, always is, but in this game, but it's actually like the show is actually like a little detective show for kids. There's a central mystery. that kids can figure out they're paying attention. And there are also little challenges. Like I think during every episode, there's like 3 or 4 secret butts hidden in the episode. And at the beginning of the episode, they tell the kids to look out for it. And then at the end, when the story is over, they reveal where all the secret butts were. And you can, check and see if you got all the butts right. So, I don't actually know how popular he is, but my younger daughter fucking loves him. And it's hard to see why you wouldn't, really. So, yes. In conclusion, we got her a butt cart. And she loves it. Just as much as my older daughter loves her model kit. Imagining Detective Conan, except instead of just being turned into a kid, he also has a butt for it. I mean, that's kind of, that's not far from the truth, really. That's pretty close. I just learned of this and I already love it. Yes, it's popular enough to get merch. A lot of merch, actually. And most animes are only on like once a week, but there's like 2 time slots for this guy. We actually saw him twice in 1 week, which was like, holy shit. So, yes. And now I have shared my knowledge of this with all of you, with all of my friends. 2 butt slots. I mean, when you think about the anatomy, he's got a butt for a face, but he still has a normal butt, right? So yeah, 2 butt slots. You can't argue with that. Hint of Ace Ventura for all the butt stuff. Okay, so that was Saturday. On Sunday, we headed to Osaka, and we went to Universal Studios Japan. We stayed at a hotel right next to Universal Studios Japan. We were there for 2 days. We got a late start, an afternoon start on Sunday because we were there for a specific show. I posit you can't argue with that. Does he ever recognize it as a butt for a face? Yeah. I think it comes up. I think that's just part of his. He doesn't make a big deal out of it or anything. Like I said, he can fart from his face, which he sometimes uses to like repel attackers or whatever. But yeah, again, I haven't really seen enough of it to fully explain. But so yeah, we went to Universal Studios Japan. I think I pulled up something. I did. Yes, Universal Studios. So Universal Studios Japan right now is doing a whole bunch of anime stuff. They're doing like a summer of anime, with different like they've rethemed some of their rides for some animes. They're doing shows for others. Interrogates people by farting at them. My younger daughter tells me he can poop from his face. I have not seen this. I cannot confirm, but yeah. Yeah, speaking of Detective Conan. I was trying to figure out how to ask. Just throw it out there. I mean, I put a car made from a person with a butt for a face on my stream for the whole world to see. You can ask whatever you want. It wouldn't mean he wouldn't need a second butt, but then he would probably still have it, right? And it doesn't mean he wouldn't have it. So anyway, we wanted to go to Universal Studios Japan for 2 reasons. We wanted to go for Super Nintendo World, but also there's One Piece show, a live One Piece show that we really wanted to see. Marcelo's face farting tacos. I have to call it night. Glad you're back. Catch what I missed on recording. Night all. Best chat. Ah, thank you, Library Man. So good to see you. Thanks for coming out. I will be on all week, of course, now that I'm back from vacation. So hopefully I will see you again soon. Have a good one, buddy. Who's the 4th guy between Detective Conan and Sailor Moon? This is the dude from Hunter x Hunter, I think. This is Monster Hunter, Attack on Titan, Conan. I think this is Hunter. That's gone. It doesn't answer anything. Okay. So I was right. He's from Hunter. I've never seen Hunter x Hunter, but I kind of recognize the style. Gone Freaks. I'm gonna go Freaks. So yeah, I had also never been to Universal Studios Japan. I've been to Universal Studios in Orlando once, and it was all right. I'm kind of more of a Disneyland guy, but Main character from Hunter x Hunter. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff at Universal Studios Japan. I wanted to show you all. There's an area for little kids that's got like Sesame Street characters and Hello Kitty, and also the Peanuts, the Snoopy characters, which is how I got this picture, which I thought you all might appreciate. He's not gone, he's right there. A little bit dark for Universal Studios thing, I would have thought, but Attack on Titan is there. I mean, so Universal Studios Japan has a Jaws ride, it has Jurassic Park, they have their Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which I guess is dark in its own context. So yeah, it's a bit, parts of it I guess are a bit more mature than Disneyland, I guess. But yeah, my daughter got a real kick out of this. But yeah, Sunday night we remained. Did I have the parting of the Red Sea? So Sunday night we were there for this. This was the One Piece show. They didn't let us take photos for most of the show, but at the end when everybody's doing their bows and stuff, they let us take pictures. So you won't know any of these people, but you might know some of these people. Peanuts are a thing over there because of Snoopy. Snoopy is insanely popular in Japan. He is merched all to hell. So yeah, people are quite familiar with it. Generally associate Hunter x Hunter being a little more morally gray. Well, I think of the animes Ed lined up there. I don't think you get much darker than Attack on Titan. That shit is brutal. I know that one from that one anime. So this show is Grim Fandango. This show was rad. This show was super, super fun. I don't know if you can tell from the background. They do it in the same area that they do the Waterworld show. Yes. Universal Studios Japan still does the Waterworld show. But I think on weekends, right now at least, only during the summer, they do a One Piece show. And I guess it's changed a bunch over the years. I mean, I guess it would have to, because these are all the pre-time skip or post-time skip costumes. And there's also a character that wouldn't be there if you weren't mostly caught up on it. Probably better live action adaptation than what Netflix is gonna do. It was super fun. It was really, really cool. It was, so they make up their own story I was wondering what it was gonna be. I was wondering if they were gonna recap like a certain storyline or recap the whole series or something or whatever. They actually make up their own storyline. And it was great because the villains were these guys. The Age Age Kaibun, which translates to Party Party Marines. And they were fucking hilarious. They were just flashy as shit. And they had this dumb little dance that they would do. And the main guy here, this super blinged out guy in the middle, had like the Age Age fruit power, the Party Party power, which he could use to like amp up his own soldiers. And you can see these guys, these shiny things on their chest, they actually had like LED screens on their chests. And when they were like powered up, they'd have like up arrows. And then when they get their asses kicked, they'd have down arrows. It's really funny. They're dangerous when they party. So yeah, it was good because like they kind of built this guy up as a big like admiral level villain or whatever, and because it's on the Waterworld set, they had some really neat special effects. Like whenever like Jinbei or Zoro would do one of their attacks, which are usually like a kind of force wave, they do like the big like water sprays around the arena thing. When Nami would do her lightning bolts, they'd have like a big explosion. At one point, they did blow up the back of the back of the whole thing when Luffy did his big finishing thing. The story was cute. It was like these two kids who wanna like they want to be in the Navy. They want to be Marines, but they're not strong enough. and then Luffy's crew shows up, and like everybody gets a little fight scene, and it's like it is not like crazy choreographed fight scenes. It's like stage pantomime fights, but with all the special effects going on, it was really cool. They even had they had a giant inflatable Robin hand come from one of these like backstage areas for one thing. It was really funny. But yeah, these two kids, they want to be Marines. They see Luffy fighting these guys, I guess. And then this guy tries to convince the kids to join him, and one of the kids wants to do it, and the other kid doesn't want to do it. And the kid who joins gets all age-agged up and gets these crazy powers and can't control himself. And then they use their powers to kind of like depower the main characters, like Luffy and Zoro, and they kidnap Jinbei. But then they do these neat they did some flashbacks to the actual series, like mainly Luffy and Zoro's parts of their backstories. And then they find the spirit to overcome, and they have a big fight. Everybody has a big fight, and they win. And like the one kid like loses the power and becomes friends with the other kid again. They brought in a bunch of characters from the series that I wasn't expecting them to either. Like there were a lot of surprises in it, and it was just all really well acted and super fun. It was all the main series characters. It was all their actual voice actors. They actually had the actual voice actors record the lines for this, which was really, really cool. But yeah, it was just super fun. Super fun acting, super fun villains. Yeah, it was really, and my kids were so into it. They, like, every time a new character would come out, they'd be like, Dad, look. They were so excited. It was super cute. My older daughter actually was so into it. In fact, she made us get her a straw hat, which she wore for the rest of the trip. So, and yes, I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna give it back to her. I just wanted to show y'all. So yeah, that was super fun. And yeah, the stage actors, I feel like they did a really good job with all of them. Like Chopper, the little reindeer guy, transformed, so they had different people in different costumes. And then at one point, there was like this pretty intense action scene on like the middle platform that I guess they didn't want somebody in a suit trying to do. So the guy playing Usopp had like a Chopper dummy that he was wheeling around and moving like he was fighting, and it was so fucking funny. I got to see Frankie's nipple lights in person, which just kind of like elevated me to a new stage of existence, I think. So yeah, super good, super fun. Really, really enjoyed that. And then, okay, so then on Monday, I guess. Yeah, it would have to be Monday. We went to Super Nintendo World. And this was the coolest fucking thing ever. I love this so much. So Super Nintendo World is, the first thing to understand is it's not big. This is most of it that you're seeing right here. Hunted some wild toads. You're more right than you think, actually. So it's near the back of the park, and when you get near it, there's a great big warp pipe on its side, and that's like the tunnel that you walk through to get there, and then it deposits you in Peach's Castle, and you come out onto this this plaza, and that's where I took this picture from. So you can walk around the plaza to the left, and that takes you to Bowser's Castle, which is where the Mario Kart ride is. If you walk around to the left, or to the right, that's where the Yoshi ride is. And right now, there's only those two rides, Mario Kart and Yoshi. Tell me if it plays the pipe warp sound effect whenever you... Of course it does. Of course it does. Everything you see here does what you think it does. It is an amazingly interactive experience. And that's because... I can get a grip on these. That's because it uses these. They sell these power bands, which have, I don't know. I don't actually understand the tech in these. It's got some kind of chip in it. It also has a QR code on the back that you can connect to the Universal Studios Japan app that keeps track of the stuff that you do. And what you do with these, what you do with the power bands, is all over Super Nintendo Land. All these question blocks and brick blocks and POW blocks you see, you can actually punch. And if you are wearing a power band, it will actually do something. It'll play a sound. If it might play a coin sound or a 1-up sound or just a boom sound or whatever. And it's keeping track of what you do. And on the app, I can actually show you what it does on the app because I have it. I still have this. Did you find 8 Kaizo blocks? Thankfully now. I've been freaking out all day for some reason. Where's that? Kaizo Super Mario Land. That would be brutal. Oh wow, I collected even more somehow. It did. Okay. So here, I'll embiggen myself so you can see this. So here we go. That's mine. I had the Luigi band, of course. It shows you how many coins you've collected. In the, what is that, top left? The bottom middle has stamps. And the stamps you get for doing different things around Super Nintendo World. Like, you can collect a Fire Flower power-up if you find it. You can punch a POW block. And it keeps track of all that stuff. And you also get special stamps for the different activities like Mario Kart and Yoshi's Island. Or not. I always want to say Yoshi's Island. Whenever I say Yoshi, I want to say Yoshi's Island. But there's also, let's see, where was that one? There's a really cool one here. Where is it? There's, oh no, not that one. Over here? Okay, well, I'll just tell you. So not only are there like special blocks around here that you can hit, there's also little emblems, like little they're basically the Mario M all over the place. And if you touch your band of that, it shows you like there's different like 8-bit versions of the characters hidden around the park. So you can find like 8-bit Mario and 8-bit Peach and 8-bit Bowser and stuff. There are also, in addition to the 2 big rides, there are some smaller activities that you can do. I can maybe show you on the map. Okay, so your app... Here, let me show you this first. So, I'm bigging myself again. Do you jump on people and destroy them? Yes, but that's because of my weight, not from being in Super Mario Land. Okay, so they have a map of Super Nintendo World with a whole bunch of stuff marked, right? These... Let's see here. Hopefully you can see this. So I've turned off all the indicators except the key indicators. Those 5 orange pins are little activities that you can do. They're like, I mean, basically like mini games. There's one with a giant piranha plant. And when your group goes in there, there's a whole bunch of alarm clocks. And you have to hit the alarm clocks when they go off fast enough so that the piranha plant doesn't wake up. There's one with a thwomp. It's a video screen. and you have to, when you tap the tiles, they change color, and you have to change them all to one color. There's a Bob-omb one. That one was really cool. The Bob-omb explodes, and it scatters the pieces of this key, and you have to run around the room and find the pieces, and then you run back to the Bob-omb, and you assemble them into the key before it explodes again. And when you do these challenges, I can show you here. When you do these challenges, in the top right, you can see little key emblems, right? You get key. And when you have 3 keys, there is a boss activity that you can only get if you have 3 keys. It's really, really cool. They actually check. There's a lock. There's like a locked door, and only your power band will unlock it if you have 3 keys. And if you do that, you get a boss battle with Bowser Jr. that is really fucking cool. It's this panoramic room with a big video screen, and there's like space for 12 people. Each person has a spot, and when you stand in that spot, they project your silhouette onto the screen. And then Bowser Jr. shows up, and he's flying around, he's chucking bombs around, and there's bullet bills flying around. You actually have to duck the bullet bills, jump over them. You have to hit the bombs back at Bowser Jr. It's a big group boss battle, and it is so fucking fun. And we beat it, and we were super happy. And we almost did it again. You saw in there we got two extra keys. We were gonna do it again, but we were starting to get tired. Yeah, it was so cool. So that's really the neat thing about Super Nintendo World, is it's kind of set up like a video game. Like, there are activities you do that unlock stuff. They get you coins, they get you badges. They actually unlock a boss battle activity. Like, it's super cool. As for the actual rides, the Yoshi ride is very simple. It's just, you hop on a Yoshi, and it's just like a slow-moving ride around the upper level of Super Nintendo World. There are like 3 eggs to find. No, 4 eggs to find. And that's basically just like when you get near an egg, you push a button on the Yoshi, and it's like, cool, you did it. And you get badges for that with your power band, basically. But it's a very short, simple ride. It's also outside, and it was raining the day we went to Super Nintendo World. So fortunately, we did the whole early access pass thing again, which got us into the park like an hour early, and we booked it straight to Super Nintendo World. We were one of the first people there. We got our power bands. We did the Yoshi ride first because it wasn't really raining when we first got there, and it's outdoor. And then we did Mario Kart twice because Mario Kart was fucking amazing. And then it started raining pretty hard, so we did the activities, we did the Bowser Jr. thing, and then you can see here there's a Kinopio's Cafe. Kinopio is the Japanese name for Toad. We had lunch there while it was pouring rain. Was wondering where all the people were. Yeah, we hauled ass up here to make sure, because we'd heard they actually sell out of power bands someday. So we wanted to make absolutely sure that we could get ours and get the ones that we wanted. Do you jump off at the end and send a plummet into a Fortunately, no. They're not that cruel. Was the food inside adorable as well? I will get to that in a second. The Mario Kart ride. The Mario Kart ride is... naturally, I don't have a picture of the ride itself. There's a huge... Bowser's Castle is enormous. It is absolutely enormous inside, because it's... like, the wait for that one gets up to be close to, like, 2 hours on some days. And after we did it twice, the wait for it was already like an hour. I hope you jump on a flag. Actually, when you beat Bowser Jr., you jump on a flagpole, and it's really neat because the whole projection screen does it in like first person. It was super cool. But yeah, they basically they built the entirety of like Bowser's castle. Like, it's all designed inside. This is like Bowser's library. It's got all kinds of neat little like references to the games and stuff. Like, I think this was like a Yoshi's Island diorama in this open book here, maybe from like Yoshi's Story. There's one of the Mario Galaxy planets here. all kinds of really, really cool stuff. I could have taken tons of pictures of just Bowser's Castle. The Mario Kart ride itself is an augmented reality ride. Like, you get, it's a 4-person cart, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Everybody has a steering wheel. And at first, it seemed like one of those rides, like, one of the, like, shooting gallery rides, like Buzz Lightyear at Disneyland, or the Men in Black ride that they have at Universal Studios in America. I guess I still have that one. But there are, so while you're on the ride, there are turns in the track that you actually you have to do, and if you don't, like, your cart spins out or it stops for a second or whatever. But everybody in the cart has to do the turn, right? You also wear augmented reality glasses. You get this headband. It's like this Mario cap. And then when you sit down in the cart, there's like augmented reality glasses that like magnetically snap into that. And while you're driving, these glasses are projecting all kinds of shit happening around you. There's like carts going everywhere. There are enemies. There are hazards. At the end, it turns into like a VR rainbow road, and it feels like you're going like 100 fucking miles an hour. It's really cool. But also, the steering wheels have buttons on them that you can shoot shells with. So when your cart picks up a question block, you get shelled. And then wherever you're looking with your AR headset, when you push the button, you shoot a shell where you're looking. And so it's like this augmented reality like turret game where you're trying to shoot as many enemies as possible. And there's like a boss battle with Bowser at the end, and like all kinds of stuff are going on around. Like the first time I did it, I was mainly just facing forward, and so I saw like Mario and Luigi and the Koopa kids and stuff all running into each other and whatnot. The second time we did it, I was looking around a lot more, and there's like Paracoopas flying past, and like Kamex, and all kinds of stuff happening. We got chased by bone piranhas at one point. It's all really, really cool. And of course, you get coins for shooting stuff. And there's like a goal of 100 coins. And the second time we did it, everyone in our cart got 100 coins, and we got like a special trophy in the app for like winning Mario Kart. It was really, really cool. So yeah, Mario Kart Ride is fucking amazing. It's definitely one of the best like augmented reality rides I've ever been on. It was really, really cool. So yeah, after we did that, after we did the key activities and the Bowser Jr. fight, we went to the Pinopio Cafe. My kids got a really cute lunch set, which I would love to show you, but they're in the picture and their mom doesn't want me showing my kids to weirdos on the internet. Nothing personal, but you know how it is. This is what I got though. I got the Luigi burger. There was a Mario burger. It was a mushroom cheeseburger, basically. The Luigi one was actually really interesting. It was a green curry grilled chicken burger, and it was so good. It was incredibly good. I don't often eat green curry, but like the grilled chicken was nice and juicy. It had some really nice cheese on it as well. How did the hat taste? I still have the hat. We got to keep the pics. My kids meals came with actual like Mario. What the hell is in that cup? Pickled vegetable. This is a staple of Japanese cuisine. So it's like pickled daikon, pickled. I forget what this one is. My wife ate it up. I don't particularly care. It's okay. I don't particularly care for it because it's kind of like vinegary flavored, but my wife loves it. So yeah, that seat tax pretty much. The cafe was also, it was huge inside. It's almost like a ride unto itself. We had to line up outside because it was so, we went to eat at like 11:30 and it was already really crowded. The line was out the door. The first area inside is this big open room, and there's a video screen made to look like a window. And it's Toad, and he's cooking. And he's talking to everybody and talking about what he's cooking. And then off of that is the room where you order. And it's, you know, a Disneyland style. It's a bunch of rails to corral people to the different counters and whatnot. And so you get your food from there. Or no, you order, and then you get your food from the next window. And then there's this huge open seating area that looks like the inside of a big like Mushroom Kingdom house, or maybe part of the castle or whatever. And there's video windows all around it. They're showing you different parts of the Mushroom Kingdom. But while we were eating, Bowser attacked. And so out the windows, you see his airship coming and like launching volleys, and like little Mushroom Kingdom citizens like running around screaming, and the sky gets dark and thunder crashes and stuff. And then eventually they, I can't remember if Mario actually shows up and kicks their asses or whatever, but eventually they pass, and then everything gets bright again, and folks come back out. But it was a cute sort of little passive show while we were eating. So yeah, really, really cool. So at that point, we had done pretty much everything in Super Nintendo World that you can do. Well, naturally, we went to the gift shop. We bought a bunch of stuff. I got my much beloved Luigi hat now. I have something to show you. Do you want to see something incredibly sad? I know the answer is no, but I'm going to show it anyway, because there's a bit of a story to this one. I feel like when you're trying to get a chicken sandwich in imperialistic lizard sphere. Sadder than what's already on stream, if you can believe it, yes. All right, so one of the big collectibles they have at Super Nintendo World are a popcorn bucket. They have a Superstar popcorn bucket, and it is this. Of course, we had to get one. It's got a wonderful Super Nintendo World band on it. It's got a little container in here for popcorn, which we of course already ate. The popcorn, there's like two flavors. There's like mushroom cream popcorn and like peach cream popcorn or something. We got the peach one, and I thought maybe it was just them being cute with the naming, but the popcorn actually tasted like peach. The food, not the... Anyway, it was really good. It was really, really good. My kids, like, hoovered that shit up, right? So, on the other side of this... So, this is a Superstar, right? So, on the other side of this is a part where... Shut up, Ricky. The other side looks like the Superstar. And it's a piece that you can actually take off. And on the back, there's a button. And if you push the button, it lights up, right? And there's like a light on mode, and there's like a flashing light mode to that side. And my kids were playing with that at night, and that was, you know, looked really, really cool, right? I would love to show you that, but at the end of our trip, when we were making our way to the airport in Tokyo, as we were getting on the very last train, the train to take us from Tokyo Station to the airport, my younger daughter was carrying this. And as she was boarding the train, I think she was wearing this, and she was carrying a suitcase. I think the suitcase bumped the star part exactly the wrong way. And the star part came off, and it fell onto the train tracks. Now, before you get all teary-eyed, this story does have a happy ending. She was devastated. She was absolutely a wreck after that, and we had to tell her, it's not your fault, it's okay, we'll see what we can do. We were doing but she was just like just a mess. Exactly. Yeah, just like Dave, sobbing uncontrollably. The whole hour-long train ride to the airport. Became like the star of the game. Now I have to assemble all the star pieces. When we got to, well, fortunately we were at the very end of the train. So when it happened, the train staff saw this happen, and we were like, Jesus Christ, is there anything you can do? They were like, no, we don't climb down on the train tracks like idiots. We don't stop the trains for anything like that. I was thinking that manic, but my wife stopped, to say nothing of the train crew. But they did say, when you get to the airport, talk to the station staff there. Yeah, it is an American double. Talk to the station staff there and let them know what happened. So we did. And the station staff at the airport contacted the station staff at Tokyo Station and asked them if it was still there. And it was. And they recovered it for it. And they said that they would send it to us. But of course, we were leaving the country that day. So my wife gave them her parents' address, and we confirmed today that they got the star. It's not broken. It still lights up. Everything is fine. So they are going to mail it to us, and we are going to get our star back. And my little girl was so happy, as was all the rest of us. Nice. Well, I mean, they charged us. They charged us, I think it was 1,000 yen to send the star from Tokyo to Nagoya. And then it's going to cost us another, I don't know, like $20 to get it sent to the States. But you know what? Worth it. Absolutely worth it. Literally, in fact, because this popcorn bucket cost us like $30. And the cheapest I've seen them on eBay is like 80. So, fine. And you know what? It's the memories. It's the memories that count. So our superstar will be complete. I will show you all when it comes in. So let me put this somewhere where I'm not gonna roll over it and break it even worse. Yeah, 1,000 is totally worth it. Yes, the star does have a face normally. I just told the sob story of how it fell off when we were getting on a train to the airport. And fell on the train tracks, thus devastating my younger daughter. But fortunately, the train staff retrieved it, and they're sending it to us. And yes, it has a very memorable story with it now. So a bit traumatic, but it ended up okay. Be the only person with a superstar that survived a run-in with the JR lines. Yeah, that's got to be rare. I've had the train crew return my wallet after a long night downtown. They are absolutely. That is one thing that I genuinely miss about not being in Japan is just the level of service you get. Dude, like when we were at I'm gonna jump to the end of the story real quick because when we were coming back, we realized we had made a mistake when we went to Japan because my children are dual citizens. They have American and Japanese passports, and we realized we were supposed to use their American passport to leave and enter the United States and use their Japanese passport to enter and leave Japan. But when we left America, we used their Japanese passport for everything. And we were very concerned about how this was going to turn out. So while we were at the Tokyo airport, we were asking like the airline staff and whatever, like, what can we do about this, right? And they were very helpful, and they were looking up stuff, and they were giving us suggestions and whatnot. And then we were all stressed out about that. And the staff at the airport, they were all very, very nice. They were, you know, like showing us where to go, and international criminal at large. And just a very, very comfortable experience the whole way through. The literal moment we got off the plane, and as we were getting off the plane in America, like on the gantry was a guy going, hurry it up, move it, I ain't got all day, people, move it, come on, let's go. You will never in a million years hear somebody yelling that at you in Japan. ever. The police won't treat you like that. So, welcome back to the US. Get out of the way. Fuck off. What are you even doing here? Hurry up and die. So yeah, that was great. That was super fun. Yeah, shut the fuck up and buy another gun. So, but anyway, to get back to it, we had a lovely rest of the day at Universal Studios Japan. We went on the Minions ride, which made us all sick because it's a stupid video simulator ride, and I hate those, and my whole family hates those, and we didn't know that going in. But we walked around. We saw we didn't bother with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter because my kids don't know Harry Potter, and I say fuck J.K. Rowling. We ate some nice snacks. They had some One Piece themed snacks that we got too. Past 2 a.m. Eastern. So glad to see your stream. How went it? You too, Mr. None Your Business. Great to see you. Hopefully we'll see you again another night this week. Take care. Let's see. We went on a bunch of kiddie rides in the little kids area. My older daughter was thinking about going on some roller coasters, but didn't end up doing that because after the Minions ride, she felt super gross. So we just went back to the hotel and hung out. That was nice. So on Tuesday, we left Osaka and we went to Kyoto, which is just like, it's like 30 minutes away from Osaka by Shinkansen. You need to understand something about Japan. Those of you that have been American born and bred and do not understand how wonderful public transportation can be. Getting from Tokyo to Nagoya by bullet train, by Shinkansen, takes like less than an hour and a half. Getting from Nagoya to Osaka takes less than an hour. Kyoto is right in between. It's like 30 minutes from either one. Like, imagine if you could get on a train in like New York or whatever and be in Chicago in like an hour or less. Like, this is what we have given up as Americans by not actually pushing high-speed rail. Yeah, it takes me an hour to go from the Red Line down to Grand Central Station. It takes me an hour to go downtown by car. It takes me an hour to go anywhere if I dare step foot on the 405. Metaphorically, it would be place tire or whatever. I mean, yeah, Japan's fucking long, volcanic long. But yeah, it is magical how you can get anywhere in Japan in what seems like less than an hour by train. Like, anywhere you need to go, whatever you need to do. You can hit every major city. It's a bummer. Found a venue I'd love to go see live music at South LA. I'm in the back. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it can take you hours just to get to different parts of Los Angeles. And I can hit every major city on the Japanese mainland in like half a day. It's crazy. So yes, I love and I dearly miss the trains in Japan. They are wonderful, wonderful. Shinkansen is so much fun to take. It's an airplane on the ground except roomier. Like the seats, the Shinkansen seats have like the leg room for a 7-foot tall basketball player. There is so much leg room, and you can recline them so far and still not bother the person behind you. Like, it is wonderful. So yeah. Anyway, so we went to Kyoto. Kyoto is an older city in Japan. Its main tourist attraction is the old shrines and temples and like old town stuff. We stayed at 2 different hotels there, one night at each. The first one we stayed at was like a resort up the side of one of the mountains in Kyoto. That was this one. This was the Roku in Kyoto. This was probably the nicest place. It was a whole resort. The buildings on the left side in this shot are the restaurant, the tea house, reception, all of that. On the right side are the rooms, just huge, spacious rooms, big bay windows, big chaise lounge under the windows so you can just sit there and relax. Over the edge of this wall is an outdoor, shallow, heated pool that we spent basically all of... Was that? No, we basically spent all of Wednesday and after we checked in. And while we were in it, it was raining. It started raining, and it was so nice. It was so incredibly nice to be out in the rain and it not matter because we're in this heated pool, and the moment we get cold, we can just submerge ourselves. The kids were having an absolute blast. Nobody else was out by the pool because it's fucking raining, and this is like a luxury resort mainly for old people. It was wonderful. Sure, I told you this before. We had a new person visiting from Japan. We were in California. Oh, really? Nice. Very nice. Yeah, our next door neighbor actually, our original next door neighbors moved out. They moved to a different part of the city here so their daughter could go to a better high school, and they're renting their house out while they're doing that. And a Japanese family moved in next door, and they have daughters near the age of our daughters, and they play all the time. It's great. Want to take his kids to Disneyland, Anaheim from Monterey area. Thought it'd just be a quick... Oh, God. Oh, God. That's like a multi-day engagement if you don't plan it well. And I'm guessing he didn't. We had to explain there's no train ride. It's a long drive. I'm lucky because I'm South Bay. I'm like maybe like 40 minutes from Disneyland if the traffic is good, which it never is. So more like an hour, but still, that's pretty fucking close to Disney. I think I mentioned to y'all, we went to Disneyland last year. Yeah, last year. Right before, while Disneyland, they had opened, but only to California residents. And you had to reserve a specific day with your ticket, which they still do now. But it was like the least crowded I have ever seen Disneyland, and it was so nice. It was so nice. We were able to do like everything. Oh yeah, you remember the Star Wars pick? Yeah. Man, I would go to Disney. I would go to Disneyland like every other month if it was like that. But my understanding now is it's just crowded as fuck now that they've opened it back up to everybody, and you know, nobody gives a fuck about COVID anymore here. So this is another part of the resort. The second day we were here, they didn't have a whole lot of stuff for kids, but they did have like a treasure hunt for the kids to do where you kind of walk around and look at some of the historic stuff. They had like this nice walkway past a whole bunch of restaurants. I thought it was pretty scenic. They also had like a big garden, like basically a giant bonsai garden, which was super nice. Thank you, Dominic. Inside, I still feel a little gross for being that guy who's subjecting people to his vacation slides, but I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. Have a good one. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. Take it easy. So yeah, that was really cool. After that, we did some sightseeing in Kyoto. This is Kinkakuji. This is a famous golden temple in Kyoto. One of my favorite spots to go visit just because it's so picturesque. My wife wanted to go to this temple. This is Kiyomizu Temple. It's up the side of a mountain. And its big attraction is this observation deck. We did take a bunch of pictures on the observation deck, but I wanted to take a picture looking at the observation deck so you'd have better context for it. You want to go to Disney as a local, need to go midweek around late January. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Should try that. Kiyomizu, I forget what the actual translation of it is, but it is like a water temple. There's a waterfall, a lot of flowing water, and places to like wash your hands out there. I know about Kinkakuji from Toho, who's responsible for so many players. The second place we stayed in Kyoto had this view, where you can see the Goji no To, I think, the 5-tiered temple in the middle of the old town. This was the Park Hyatt in Kyoto, I think. Probably technically the fanciest hotel in Kyoto, but more Western style than Roku, and not so much of a resort. It was also, we didn't realize this, is also in a part of town where everything closes when there are no tourists, and we were there on like a Wednesday or something. So when we tried to go out for dinner, there was basically nothing open. And we didn't want to eat at the hotel restaurant because it was super expensive. Again, we got to stay for free because of our bougie-ass Amex. That was really nice. As an aside, did you visit a gacha machine or the Kombini? We went to convenience store many times and got all kinds of tasty stuff. I like to get canned chuhai at convenience stores. It is a mixed alcohol drink. It's like a kind of like a fruity alcoholic soda. I absolutely love them, and I wish they were cheaper to get here. I can get them at the Japanese grocery stores around here, but they're like $3 or $4 for one. I'm not a big onigiri guy, and we mostly just got them as stopgaps for meals. But my kid, we ate a lot of good noodles. We had soba. We actually had soba this night at a pretty good place, and I learned a new way to eat soba. Cold soba. They serve you the noodles, and then they serve you like a cup of cold soup, right? That you dip the noodles in. This place, when you finish the noodles, they give you a like a teapot of the water they cook the noodles in, and you're supposed to pour it in the soup and then drink all the soup because it takes like the edge off of the seasoning in the soup. I thought this was gonna be disgusting. My wife doesn't like doing it. My wife is Japanese, so I figured. I actually really liked it, and my older daughter really liked it too. It was actually legit good. It gave like just the right hints of soba flavor to the soup and cut it just enough that it wasn't like too strong a taste. Then I had fruit soda that I enjoyed back in the 80s and again in the early 2000s. They seem to have vanished without a trace. It's hard to keep track of like specialty sodas and flavors and stuff in Japan because they change so often. You asked about gacha machines. My kids hit up a couple One Piece gachas for some little figures. They also hit up a gacha machine that had little vending machines in it. So we have a chocolate vending machine and like a coffee vending machine with itty bitty teeny tiny pieces that I'm not going to risk showing you because I will absolutely fucking lose them. And then my older daughter decided to go full meta, and she got a gacha machine that has actual gacha balls in it. And yes, it worked. I would turn it and get stuff out, but again, terrified of actually losing some of her toys. So I'll let her lose them on her own time. All right, let's see. I guess I better speed. Oh well, there's not too much left to cover. It's just I have a bunch of pictures of it. It's so fucking cool. So from Kyoto, we went back to Nagoya. This time, instead of staying with my in-laws, we stayed at the Legoland Hotel on the pirate floor. So there is Japanese Legoland in Nagoya. It's by the port, which is like a 30-minute train ride from the main station. We've been to California Legoland many times. We love it. We wanted to see what Japanese Legoland was like. Japanese Legoland is fucking awesome. It is very small, but it's got all the rides you need, and most importantly, it is never crowded. For whatever reason, Nagoya Legoland is not very popular. There was literally no wait for any ride. None. Pirate Legoland and One Piece? No. I would lose my fucking mind if they did license One Piece Lego sets. I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but man, I would kill for that so bad. So yeah, this, I will say, it was probably a mistake staying at a place like this after staying at some of the most upscale hotels in Japan, because even my kids were like, this is kind of shitty. My kids got used to the pampered Kyoto resort life. So as kitschy as this was, they were like, can we just go back? They did. This room was really cool though. There were free Legos to play with, and there was a locked treasure box in this room, and there were clues to open it around the room. So the first thing we did when we got to the room was we went and searched those out. And then when they opened the treasure box, there were 2 mini Lego kits in there for my kids to keep. There was a Ninjago one and a Super Mario Lego one. So they were super excited about that. That was really, really neat. The lobby of the Legoland Hotel had like a big, I want to say kiddie pool, but that's not doing it justice. Like basically like a swimming pool full of loose Legos that you could play with while your parents are checking into the hotel, which of course they did. On the second floor was the restaurant, big buffet. Really nice, really good food, really kid friendly. That was the only problem with the upscale places we stayed, is like the buffets didn't tend to be very kid friendly. But my kids made do with like sausages and yogurt stuff. They did Lego bread. They did these maple, I want to call them rolls, but obviously they're not round, that are the shape of like single stud pieces. That was really, really cute. Oh, and well, you know what? I got to show you this actually. I will jump ahead to show you this one. This is what I had for lunch at Legoland. It's a Lego block burger and Lego block fries. I don't even think they have this in American Legoland. I think it's Japanese Legoland that goes the extra mile. It was good too. These are basically tater tots. They were surprisingly dense. Because I guess that's the only realistic way you get a potato in Lego shape, is you extrude that shit. The burger was it. I have a bone to pick though. There is something I need to complain about, and it's burgers. Japan has some incredibly tasty burgers. Windows 7 burger excluded. But Japanese McDonald's is very good. Moss Burger is very good. This was a very big burger. It was a very big burger. It was very bready, but also very, very tasty. However, for reasons that I cannot adequately explain, Japanese burger engineers do not understand how to keep a burger together. Every Japanese burger I have ever eaten, the moment I bite into it, that patty is fucking leaving. Like, one bite yeets that patty right out of that burger. Japanese burgers are weirdly slippery, and they are always incredibly difficult to eat. And I ate enough burgers on this trip to where it actually became frustrating at this point. But I don't know what it is, and I wish I think actually what it might be. One, they don't really use very melty cheese. So on a cheeseburger, you're not really getting that glue-like consistency to at least hold the top layers together. The other thing is Japanese burgers are almost never just beef. They're either a ground beef, ground pork mixture, or they're just ground pork. And I think that ends up making them a bit more oily, which makes it easier for them to slip out. Or it could, they do tend to have a lot of sauce. It could just be the sauce. But whatever the reason, I'm warning you up front. Not a roguelike. For context, this is the Lego burger and Lego fries I got at Nagoya Legoland, which was really fun. Really fun. I got some more pictures to show from it, but yeah, I wanted to skip ahead to this one because it's so kitschy. All right, so yes, Pirate Legoland room. So I don't have a whole lot of pictures of the park. I mostly took pictures of their mini land, because every Legoland has a mini land where they basically build recognizable landmarks and cities and stuff. We fucking on the One Piece bedtime. My wife didn't go for it. They build landmarks or whatever from the area, and Nagoya's mini land was fucking amazing. It was super cool. You can also see from here, there's a jet ski ride. It goes around in a circle. You can kind of control it a bit. There is a adventure ride over here. It's basically like a shooting gallery kart game. Really fun. Is that? Oh yeah, this is like the Lego City area. My kids were able to do like a Lego driving test, be Lego firefighters. There's a submarine ride that's pretty cute. Everything is just kind of small. This was from the Lego observation tower, which it takes you up like, I don't know, like 40, 50 feet on a rotating platform that gives you a really good look at the park. So yeah, I took a lot of pictures of the mini land they had because it was all just really cool, like Japanese landmarks and scenery and just really, really cool stuff. Yeah, I wanted to zoom in on this one because there were samurai having a little battle on the riverfront here. Really cool. This is, oh fuck. This is a specific temple, and I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember the name of it. It's in Hiroshima, I think. Built right on the coast. And this torii is out far enough in the water that during high tide it's submerged up to like these bottom supports. Oh, is that Miyajima? Okay. Thank you. I have a terrible mind for these names. But yeah, I have been there once. It's really cool. There's this was like, I think this is supposed to be like has a longer official name. Sure. I think this is supposed to be like downtown Tokyo. I love the if I was rich, if I was obscenely rich, I think built like Lego creations like this would be my hobby. I would just buy like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of bricks just to build like realistic looking buildings. Itsukushima? Okay. I'm never gonna remember that, like for sure. But thank you for looking that up. Street level view. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess that was the Rainbow Bridge that I was showing y'all back in Tokyo. Because this is the big loop that goes up to get on it, and that's the rail line we took. Also, they have a Totally Not Gundam to represent the Totally Gundam that they have near the Tokyo Bay. I saw the Tokyo Gundam. I don't think I got a good picture of it because it was just as our train was going by. But I have officially seen the Tokyo Gundam, and it was rad. Yeah, another part of Tokyo here. Yeah, I really love the detail on all these buildings. I don't think this is supposed to be Kyoto. I think maybe this is supposed to be a temple in Tokyo. See Millennium Tower. Oh yeah, this is Tokyo Station along here. Oh, this is a rather old-looking building. Forget which one this is. Oh yeah, and then there was a Lego Shinkansen going by that I had to take a picture of. Tokyo Gundam is also strangely full of McDonald's. Yeah, it occurs to me now that I've forgotten what a lot of these were. They just look. I was just snapping pictures of everything because it looks like this is Osaka. I remember this building in Osaka. Gnarl, I think we might have gone up in this building to the observation deck when we went to Osaka all those years ago. I think it was this one. Japanese buildings like to have weird gaps in it. Okay, we did. Cool. I'm not just making shit up. These things really happen. There is... Mount Fuji is not made out of Lego, but everything around it is made out of Lego. Imagine we kissed on the observation deck. Who's to say we didn't? Oh! There's Lego Kinkakuji right there. I think I took another picture of it from a better angle, but yeah, there's also Lego Kyoto that we'll get to. Yeah! Yeah, here's the Goji no To from Kyoto, which I did take a picture of. It was closed when we went to it in Kyoto. So I basically just stood here and took a picture up at it. So I got a neat view of the underside of the roofs, I guess. So much cooler than American buildings. I know! Even modern Japanese buildings just have so much more style than American ones do. It's frustrating. I wish, if I had one wish, honestly, I think I would bring back Art Deco. I want Art Deco to come back in the worst way. Just, if you're gonna build these big fucking buildings anyway, like, quit making them look like crumpled up pieces of paper and like rusted metal and shit. Just make them as big and gaudy and ostentatious as I know you want to. Put all kinds of weird, like, bronze figurehead men on them and stuff. I want Googie architecture to come back. I would accept that as well. Just something with some character. I'm sure I already sound like one of these like architecture assholes on Twitter, but like, I don't know. I'm tired of the modern building style in America. Would you kindly construct this in Art Deco style? I'm not gonna say that's not part of my inspiration. This is Lego Sapporo, which is the big city in Hokkaido. They do an ice sculpting festival every year. So these are some of the like Lego ice sculptures. Fine with Brutalist so long as it's actually Brutalist. Brutalist can be. I completely agree with that. I would not trust modern architects to do Brutalist well, but if they did, I would totally be down for that. This is Osaka Castle. I think this is Osaka Castle. I want to say this is Osaka Castle. Osaka Castle doesn't normally have some giant pink ball demon coming out of the top, but this is just some like little Easter egg that they baked into it. Also a neat little festival going on here. This one, I want to build a Lego Japanese castle so fucking bad. This looked amazing. This looked so damn good. This is a big temple complex that I don't remember the name of. It's Kirby! Kirby, don't eat Osaka! Kirby, no! Oh, in the background, there's a big dragon roller coaster that my older daughter went on and said it was rad. There is also, I can't fucking believe she did this. There is a Ninjago ride. It's a big mechanical arm that's like 30 feet tall. And it basically has like these, about a dozen gliders on it. And when it goes, it picks the gliders up and like spins them up into the air. And like, just like flings the kids around. My daughter went on that shit twice. I cannot fucking believe she did that. She is infinitely braver than I am. And I am very proud of her for that, but also, what the fuck? Is that how Ninjago is pronounced? I don't know. Ignorant ass American. It's supposed to be Ninja Go. I think I've always heard it as Ninjago, actually. And of course, yeah, Kinkakuji. And I think this is actually Kiyomizu Temple here. I just didn't photograph it from the right side. This one up here, oh no, that's Kinkakuji. That's Kiyomizu Temple over there, because it's got the observation deck. That's Kiyomizu. This is Ginkakuji, the Silver Temple, which I didn't get the chance to see this time. Not quite as impressive as Kinkakuji, the Golden Temple, because I think this one's silver on the inside, but they don't ever really let people see it or something like that. So I forget what temple this is. Ninjago would be 5 ninjas, right? Yes, and I think there are 5 ninjas, actually. This trip did kind of answer my question about how Japanese people feel about Ninjago. They fucking love it. The Ninjago area was super popular. Ninjago Legos are super popular, so they're cool with it. This was honestly probably the most impressive to me. This is the Nagoya Dome, the covered baseball stadium, and dude, this is so cool. I love this so much. No, you're thinking of 3 ninjas. Am I thinking of 3 ninjas or 3 ninjas kick back? Who can say, really? Oh yeah, and all of these models had buttons you could push to make something happen. In this one, you would make the little dude run home run bases. Probably a small fortune in minifigs. That's probably a large fortune in minifigs. Minifigs are not cheap. There's 7 of them. There's Samurai Nut. I took a close up, and yes, these are all distinct minifigures. I honestly, like, maybe they repeated some, but who the fuck knows? This guy's got a mohawk here. Like, yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's so cool. I assume that's a pun with a sushi restaurant out here. Go 55 Sushi. I assume it's actually... Yeah, probably. Probably. That's pretty cute. Tag yourself on the pantsless one. Damn it, I want to be the pantsless one. I hope there's a Waldo Lego hidden in here. That'd be great. I'm Shrek. No, but who are you in the picture, though? And the one for the checkered flag was for ska, not for racing. A lot of sailor hats. That's true, there are. Oh, dude. Okay, I'm the guy with the donuts back here. I'm Mr. Donuts here. I did eat Mr. Donuts. It's so good. Wonderful. So yeah, that was our trip to Legoland. It was super rad. We didn't really buy any Lego stuff because I got a shitload of Legos anyway, and we spent so much money on this trip on, like, I mean, you can see on collectibles and stuff, so. So yeah, this was my lunch at Legoland, and then the last thing we did at Legoland, there's also an aquarium, a small aquarium attached to Legoland called Sea Life. And we went ahead and got tickets for that because we were worried it was gonna be raining while we were at Legoland. It didn't rain, so we spent pretty much the entire time at Legoland. And unfortunately, because Japanese Legoland is not very popular, it closes at 4. So we kind of had to book it out of there pretty early. What's up, Ms. Roy? Good to see you. Ms. Roy, I hate to tell you this, you're coming in right at the tail end of my Japan trip recap, which is somehow managed to last 3 hours. I didn't intend for that, but I guess one of these days I just need to accept how much I like talking into the internet. But yeah. Yeah, oh, it's only open during the blazing. Well, actually, I should point something out. Let me run back through Miniland real quick. Back to, yeah, there was something I forgot to point out. This really colorful area over here. I like it more than Game Stream. Library man, how dare you? This really colorful area over here is a water park. They actually have some, like, water park attractions inside of Legoland. There's another one over, like a city-themed one over here. And this was the first day of the season that those water attractions were open. So I think another reason there were no lines for anything is because a lot of the people who are bothering, I mean, it gets knife out. I think a lot of the reason that there were no lines for anything is because most of the people that were bothering to show up to Legoland at this time were coming for the water attraction. That boat ride where you spray, yeah, there's a Lego pirate attraction where you get on a pirate ship and you have a cranked water cannon that I feel like would be really, really fun, except it's Japan. And at least in my experience, people were too polite to actually spray each other. So they were just kind of shooting it off in random directions. Have a good one, Arcane. Thank you so much for coming out and sticking with me through my old man slideshow. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. Also, there just weren't a whole lot of people on it. So I almost blasted one kid who was wandering by the ride a little too close, but I thought better of it. So, but yeah, a lot of people are going to these, and they actually had like locker rooms and stuff dotted through the park where you can change after you get soaked. Aim straight for the eyes and balls. That's what you need, man. I'm an asshole. I'll spray everyone. My kids were trying, to be fair. My kids were making the effort, but it just wasn't to be. So anyway, there's a Sea Life Aquarium. Didn't take many pictures in there, but I did take this one because it was really cool. There was a huge tank at the end, and there was a giant stone. This lady, like, this is like 10 feet tall here. This was a huge tank, and there was a huge stone lady in the huge tank. And I want to take a picture because it was really cool. And also, I've played enough Dark Souls and other dark fantasy games to get really freaked out by this. So I basically took a picture and ran away. This is right by the glass too. I took this picture from like a ways back. You could get right up in her face in this, so. Somebody was gonna do it. Nobody was gonna let us get out without hitting it with that one. And that was my Japan trip. We spent like one more day in Japan. Had some sushi, had some karaage, Japanese fried chicken, and then the next day we made our way back. And we arrived home exhausted but happy. Yeah, I always enjoy going to Japan. And I like being in Japan, but I will say doing stuff in Japan is often difficult, mainly as a parent. Japanese service is amazing, but a lot of stuff in Japan isn't really designed with parents in mind. Like, you know how, like when you go to a restaurant in America, pretty much every restaurant except like the tippy-toppest, most upscale restaurants have a kids menu, right? That is not the case in Japan. They're basically designated family restaurants that people with kids have to go to. And we don't want to go to those. So we kind of struggled a bit with meals. They're also very, very regimented in terms of like lunch menus, dinner menus, when they serve them. A lot of places just straight up close between lunch and dinner. Which made finding meals at odd hours, because we're doing all kinds of sightseeing, kind of difficult. Yeah, no, they literally call them family restaurants. It's in the name. But yeah, the kids did fine. My kids at least are very patient with stuff like that, and I appreciate that. So yeah, it was a very fun but very exhausting trip, especially since it was so damn hot. Again, it was over 100 degrees on most of the days that it didn't rain, and that made it really hard to keep up the energy to, like, you know, go around theme parks and go sightseeing and stuff. Definitely glad to be back in LA, and really happy to not be jet lagged for some reason. Like, I'm honestly kind of shocked about this. I normally feel like garbage for like a week after I come back from Japan, but this time I'm fine. And I really don't know why, so. Yay we all win because that means I am going to have no trouble streaming for the rest of this week. So why don't we go ahead and talk about what I'm planning for the next week or two of streams, and then I'll cut y'all loose to do something more entertaining than listen to an old man talk about his vacation. Let's track if when the lag hits you. I have that effect on people. Is that like how there's sushi restaurants, Tex-Mex restaurants? Go to a family restaurant if you want to. Fortunately, we didn't end up in any like that I know of. But yeah. So, back in June, we did a nomination voting process for the June community night. It was a horror theme. Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl ended up winning, but Yomawari Night Alone ended up being a close second. And since I didn't really have the time to set anything up for the July community night, I'm going to go ahead and do Yomawari Night Alone as our July community night, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. Yomawari is not a super long game. I think I can do it in 2 streams. So that is the plan for the next 2 nights. Tomorrow, I'll be starting Yomawari Night Alone. On Wednesday, I'll be finishing it. If you like, let me pull it up real quick, so you have an idea. If you've never seen it before, I love this game personally. I love this game. I love the sequel even more. But yeah, if you like. It basically hits all of the sweet spots for me for a horror game. It's very creepy. It's very atmospheric. It's cute. And it uses Japanese themes and mythology really, really well. I'm not planning on 100%ing it now. I didn't 100. I actually no, I didn't even get close. You have to do a lot of shit to 100% that game. And I don't plan on doing that. I suppose if people absolutely love it to death, we could consider it. Actually, no, because some of the stuff you have to do to 100% is really obscure. Like the cell phone side quest is kind of bullshit. So yeah, we'll just play through it. I'll find what I find, do some exploring, whatnot. But yeah, I love this game. And probably means we'll do Midnight Shadows sometime too. I think the third. Wait, hang on. Third game is supposed to be coming out sometime, isn't it? Yeah, Lost in the Dark. When is this coming out? Fall. Okay. So yeah, we'll do Night Alone over the next 2 nights. We'll do Midnight Shadows sometime soon because I never actually finished that one, and I would love to, and I'd love to do it on stream. And then maybe I'll do Lost in the Dark when that comes out. That could be pretty neat. So that's today's Monday. I just did Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, Yomawari. Thursday, the Power Hours make their triumphant return, and we are starting 1992. I cannot wait. This is definitely one of the high points of Nintendo Power. So I'm very, very excited. Yeah, maybe number 3 for Halloween. It'll probably... Actually, I think both of the Yomawari games... Yeah, both of the Yomawari games came out in October. 25th for Night Alone. 24th for Midnight Shadows. So probably, yeah, okay. So I'm definitely gonna have to set some time aside for that. For sure. All right. Friday, I'm gonna go ahead and tentatively plan to do the Playdate unboxing on Friday. I should have it by then. So that'll be neat, and then we might do some other random little cutesy games that night, depending on... I don't know how much time Playdate unboxing is going to take up, so it might just be like a random game night or something. Are we doing community night in August? Yes. I might not make y'all do the community challenge for that one. I might let you save your Dragon Coins and just spot you this one. Let's talk about that more tomorrow or on Discord or something. Because yes, I want to do it. But yeah, we're already like halfway through this month, so we should probably get on the selection process then, and find a volunteer to run it. So, and then more Power Hours on Saturday. I'm thinking let's start XCOM Apocalypse on Monday. Y'all voted that in as our next major game like months ago at this point, and I am ready for it. I'm ready to get into it. I am really excited about it. No matter your feelings on XCOM, I strongly encourage you to show up for this one. It is unlike all the other XCOM. It is real time. It is a chaotic mess, and I love it so much. Also, there's going to be a ton of audience interaction and channel point stuff to do with it. So, even if you're not super into the game, you might be super invested in what happens to your poor little person that you name after yourself. Or other things. So, I am too, Bacon Copter. I want to do more games where I can kill named characters. Don't read too much into that, chat. Alright. I think that about covers it. I'm not really going to make any concrete plans for after XCOM. Though I am still kind of in a Metroidvania style mood. We'll see how I feel on the other side of XCOM. Or if I end up having to quit out of XCOM for whatever reason. I may do a wheel this month. We got 2 more Fridays in July. We'll see. I've started to I've come around to doing wheels for like special Steam events. We'll see what happens. Has community co-op night ever been tried? We've done some multiplayer night. TMNT could be fun. I will take that into consideration. We'll talk about all this stuff probably tomorrow. But for now, I probably shouldn't push my potential jet lag too far. So why don't I find somebody for y'all to raid? That sound. Let's strike you. Use up. See who we can surprise with our presence. So let's do Blue Zest. Always good to see Blue Zest. Blue Zest plays a lot of cool games that I kind of want to play. Thanks for the stream. You know what? Thanks for being here. I said it at the beginning of the stream. I'm going to say it again. Thank y'all so much for being here. I am always very grateful that y'all take the time, and especially those of you that have to stay up until the ass end of the morning to watch me. But I always appreciate y'all taking time out of your day to hang out with me. Especially, you know, when I've been gone on vacation for a while, and doubly when I'm not even playing any games. I'm just talking about shit that I did. So it really means a lot to me that y'all want to come hang out and do stuff. And I hope it's entertaining and fun and welcoming and comforting and everything you need it to be. I really enjoy this. It's important to me. So. I'll be looking for it. Oh, man. Anyway, gang, I already said it. I'll say it again and again. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for joining me for this recap of my Japan trip. I hope you weren't too bored or listless or confused or aimless while I was gone. But I'm back. I'm back. I've refreshed. I've got energy. I've got ideas, I've got plans. Things are going to be great in the coming days and weeks and months, and you can count on it. And I hope that I will see you all tomorrow night for Yomawari Night Alone. But until then, as always, as ever, y'all take care. Bye, everybody!